What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Comics Underground Live. I'm Peter Orchard. I'm joined with Stanley and guest. What's going on, guys?
Hey!
Haven't heard from Jake today. I think he's crashed out, and I don't blame him. It's been one hell of a week.
It has been a week. It has been a week for sure.
Well, we're running a little bit late today, but because I wanted to talk with Stanley about growing YouTube channels. There's a lot of reasons for that, but it's time to start growing our channels and everything. And because he's got a little bit busy, we had to start a little bit late today. But anyways, that's cool, man. I'm glad you're here. We can talk about this.
This is a fun conversation.
Yeah, man. You've got you're working on the book for growing your channel, right?
That's right. Yeah, I literally called it, or I'm calling it, How to Grow on YouTube, so that I can specifically say, and I even talked to the publisher, and they were like, oh my God, fucking love this idea. But I'm calling it that so that I can say, I literally wrote the book, How to Grow on YouTube. I just want to be able to say that. And it will be published May 1st is when it goes live.
May 1st. Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, man. We were talking about it the other day, and it looked pretty cool, man. I'm like, this is going to be awesome. I can't wait for this book to come out. And of course, when it does, we're going to go over it. We're going to check it. We're going to take a look at it and everything. But in the meantime, let's talk about it. If you let's go with the channel, what would be the first biggest piece of advice you would give somebody?
The first, I don't even know if it'd be the first, but it probably should be the first piece of advice is everything, like take everything that anybody has to say. Like there are going to be some select people that are maybe a little bit different, but by and large, generally you can take everything that everybody has to say and throw it right out the window, and that includes me.
Oh, okay.
That's not to say that they're wrong, but a good part of the whole YouTube thing, like if you're first starting off, you're going to get a whole lot of advice. You'll get advice from people who are dead wrong. You're going to get advice from people who know exactly what they're talking about, and you're not going to understand it, and it won't pertain to you, your channel, your content, and your audience. So first and foremost, before you start listening to people, go make 50 videos. Go make 100 videos. Like that's where your journey begins, is at the 100 video mark. That's when you can start looking at data. That's when you can start listening to people and understanding, oh, he's saying this because of this. That's how it works for me. Oh,
yeah. Like you start making videos, and then you kind of figure out what people are watching, what they're not watching. You kind of figure out how to curtail that to the audience that you're looking for, which I would say one of the next things would be, who's your channel for? Like, what's your channel? What do you want your channel to be about? A lot of people, I keep hearing, I don't know what my channel should be about. It's like, well, what is it that you want to talk about? Like, why do you want a channel?
The way that you decide your channel, what you need your channel to be about, like, it's a very simple formula. It's going to be one of two things. There are going to be things in life that you are good at, things that people come to you for advice on, or you are a confidant, somebody that they want to talk to about a certain thing. You have knowledge. You are an authority on a topic. That's one of the things. Like, and everybody's got like a half a dozen things, you know, that they are some, like, you can hang out with your friends and talk about art or music or whatever it is. Like, there's going to be these different things. Pick one of those. Or you're either going to be an authority on a topic, or the other side of the coin is you want to start something. You decided you want to pick up knitting. This is going to be your new thing. You're going to go on a new journey of knitting, and you're going to bring an audience along with you as you learn it. But it's going to be one of those two. You're an authority, or you're bringing people on your beginner's journey.
Now, I heard... I went to college, and there's like 3 types. Like, one of the things they taught us in college is 3 types of videos, right? You've got the informative videos, you've got your, entertainment, and then there's instructional, informative, and then entertainment, right? Is that how it goes? There's like the 3.
That sounds right.
Yeah, the 3 types, and it's like, what is once you kind of know what you want to talk about, I don't know, even if you don't know what you want to talk about, I don't know. It's like, I remember when I first started the channel, I was kind of thinking, what am I going to do? What do I want to make? I want to do drawing videos. I haven't done any drawing streams or anything because the setup, and it's weird. It's like a weird, I did a practice draw stream once, and that was like very awkward and weird. You got to be able to talk while you're drawing. That's
it's difficult to. I do a fishing channel, and it's one like fishing and talking on camera and stuff like that is hard. But last fall I did our very first hunting video, and oh my god, like I thought fishing was difficult. Like I was all dramatic, like, oh, it's so hard to bait a hook and cast a line and film myself while doing it and make it look good. Screw all that. You think that's hard? Like, try scoping in a gun, getting it sighted in on you got to get the gun sighted in on an animal. You got to get the camera sighted in on the animal. You've got to be on camera, and you got to hit that shot. You know, and you only get one, so it's a lot harder.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's gotta be rough. That's when you have like just your static, or you get a photographer. If you're doing something like that, I'd get like
get a camera guy.
Yeah, a camera guy in there is always going to. But then, of course, they've got all the gadgets and stuff because everybody can't have. I went out because I needed a camera guy, right? I was going to go do like comics and outdoor. I was going to do comics and outdoor stuff where it's like, yeah, we're doing some fishing and we're going to read, X-Men or something while we do it. We're going to pair outdoor events with a comic book or something. Anyways, I was like, what I'm going to need is a camera person, right? A camera guy. So I got that DJI drone that can track you, the Maverick Pro 2.
I'm so envious of that.
Yeah, well, I mean, that thing. But then when I started trying to get good at it, you have to have all the data. It downloads all the data, the flight data logs and stuff of your area. It's all GPS. So I couldn't just fly that thing around. And one of the parks that I go to, it's right next to an airstrip, so I can't film over there, or I can't use the DJI over there, and it sucks because it's like beautiful down by the river and everything. It's like a nice little park, and I've tried to use that drone down there, and I don't know how to get it. I don't know how to either bypass that or. But that would be a really cool tool to have, on top of all that weird shit you see people carrying with the backpack and the Predator thing. It's like on their shoulder with the camera and
that thing. I've seen that one in use, and years ago I desperately wanted one. One of the guys that I learned from used it, and I thought it was because it's so hard to get yourself in frame while doing something. Yeah. And especially, the way to do it, the way that I do it, I use a tripod, so I set it up like this, and it's that static shot, so there's no energy to it. But if, like when you're doing something, you're doing some action-based stuff, it's like, oh, we need to be doing this, and there's like, we got this stuff going on, and you got to make it look awesome. That's hard to do when that camera is just standing there all static.
No, that's true. And then you also got to kind of know what it looks like. Like what you did just now, that's got skill. Most people would have the camera at a weird angle or do something, and it wouldn't look clean like that. Like you could have been walking.
And you got to be careful because you don't want, if you make a 20-minute video, you don't want 20 minutes of shaky cam. You got to be real kind of careful about how you go about using that.
Yeah, and that comes with practice and watching your own videos and everything.
Yeah.
What were you saying, guest?
I was going to say that just depends on whether or not you're wanting to do live streams or you're wanting to do VODs.
Dude, and that's another thing. Yeah, you're right, because live streams, they're an easy. They're not easy, but they're way easier than making videos. Let's just say it like that. Doing a good live stream is difficult. Doing a live stream is easy, but doing one that's entertaining and that can gather more of an audience is really difficult because topics. I've noticed the best videos I've had were about movies and stuff that I don't generally like talking about. Like there's a billion movie channels out there, right? Why would anybody watch my channel unless it's more entertaining? And I don't care enough about, movies I'm never going to watch to talk about them. So being a movie review or discussion live stream and making it interesting, And if you'd watch, a lot of the people that do that, they're for one, it's not, those channels aren't any very interesting either, and most of them just shit on everything. Like, how many channels are there?
You don't get views if you sit there and just show love to everything, you know?
Yeah, and the other live stream podcast thing is going to be news, which I am frankly sick of the news. I love what's going on lately. There's a lot of good stuff that I'm positive about, but after the past 8 years, 10 years, fuck, man, you can say 20 years, I'm kind of done with news. I'm like trying to get away from all that crap and just focus on something that makes me happy.
Back when it was just like you're going to watch the news at like 10:30 at night before you go to bed.
Yeah.
Like news, that was okay. It was half an hour, and you were going to get your goofy segments, and you're going to get some weather, you get some sports. They've only got so long. But now you're so inundated with social media, and it pops up on your computer screen, and it pops up in your notifications of your phone, and it's like, that's too much. It's too much to consume.
Too much. Yeah, and everybody used to get the same news. And the problem with that was now we know a lot of that was bullshit. And so it's like, okay, well, now we're going to get real news, right? No, because for every channel you watch that you like getting your news from, there is an equal and opposite channel. It's like it's all
algorithms feeding you stuff that they know. Like you're on one side of the political spectrum. Well, you're going to watch that stuff longer, so that's what we're going to feed you. So by the end of it, you only get the very far leaning out, fringe like
exactly. Because that's like these hater channels. They're popular, but a lot of people go for that. I don't know why. I can't stand listening to that crap. How do people sit there and listen to that just this constantly? The news, it's like what's going to get you angry? I don't know. There's a bit. I will say this. As far as the channel goes, it's lucrative from what I can tell. Pick a side and then go balls to the wall extreme. You know what I mean? And then do 10 videos a day, and you'll succeed after a year. You'll be doing it after a couple months.
And like, absolutely not wrong about that at all. But also, like, if you're looking, just as a little side note on that, as a YouTube conversation,
you'll go insane.
If you're looking at like doing something that you enjoy doing and making a channel about, don't follow that.
Yeah,
don't do that.
You will go insane.
You're going to go insane. Only do that if you're looking to make a few dollars and you're committed to being able to do 10 videos a day for the next 12 years.
The only one that is still interesting to me, and it's not news particularly, it's just interesting topics, is Joe Rogan. I still love watching Joe Rogan.
He's not bad.
After like 10, 15 years of me watching him, however long it's been, I don't even remember, but his show's still fun to watch. But the channels I used to like watching, I cannot stand their voices anymore. And you hear these like, my channel's dying. They're after me, everybody. I don't care what side you're on.
That was the perfect.
No, his would be like, what? They're after. All right, guys. Like, yeah, he'd be like, buy my coffee. And then also, if you're selling coffee, I'm like suspicious. Nick at Time's in here, and he says,
what's up, man?
I want to make YouTube videos. With college, I just don't have the time. But when this semester's over, I'll have way more time. I'm on the same boat. I'm waiting for the school year to go out for summer, and I say it every year. Every year, as soon as I have the time this summer, when school's over, and guess what? Something else is going to fill that time. If you want to do a channel, you got to like... I know semester in school is important. That's probably more important than working on a YouTube channel. But when I started, so that's a for real thing. Like, and that's an issue that a whole lot of people have to deal with. And I'm not saying like don't take time away from college. You need to do your thing. That's more important.
However, there's never going to be a point where you have like the amount of time that you need to do the thing that you want to do. Yep. You have to be able to make time in your current schedule. For example, when I started, I took a complete year off. I was doing 90-hour weeks, 90 plus. I had a few that were like easily 120-hour weeks, working really hard. I had to drive an hour and a half to work. It was a 3-hour drive every day, and doing 90-plus hour weeks. And what I did, because I was passionate about it, I wanted to get started, and I'm not saying I was good, but I was passionate and I wanted to get started and do it. I took a complete year off from the radio, television, and video games. I consumed no media. Like I was watching YouTube videos, but it was all tutorials on how to learn YouTube stuff. And then I was practicing these things. If I had a day off, I was out fishing, dragging my family out fishing because I do fishing channels. That's how I cut my teeth. I was dragging them out. If I had a day off and they were at school or something, I ran out to the beach and filmed a video. And, oftentimes it was poor. But I was getting content done. I was learning things. And one of the important things that you learn with that is how to fit these things into your schedule.
Yeah, there's time in there somewhere. I agree with you totally. Consuming media is a problem when you're trying to create media. You don't have time unless you're, watching whatever it is you show about and you want to like learn something or just get educated on something that you're going to talk about. Videos are fine, but it's all still bringing it back to your channel. I don't hardly ever play video games at all anymore. In fact, we're talking like I might spend one weekend playing video games, and then I won't do it again for months. I won't play a game for months. I don't watch TV until I go to bed. Except social media that's a problem, right? I do watch a lot of YouTube.
That's one of the things that I cut out. Like I didn't do social media. You guys were hounding me about that. How am I going to grow a YouTube channel without social media? But that's like it's the social media consumption stuff, the doom scrolling. I didn't go through any of that.
Well, to be honest, I don't doom scroll. I actually like my Twitter feed for the most part. There are times that it's better than here's what I do. If it's like a good season on Twitter or X, I'll be scrolling and I'm getting a laugh out of everything I see. Now, lately, there hasn't been a whole lot on there that's interesting to look at. So I'll do 5 swipes. 1, boring. 2, 3, 4, 5. You're off. You're done. And then I'm back to work doing something else.
Exactly.
I'll watch YouTube channels, but even that's a weird enigma that just recent or whatever. That's a new thing that kind of happened. I used to never watch YouTube live streams. I would watch videos. And then I started watching these live streams, probably because, the doom scrolling on YouTube, I guess. Waiting for...
Well, you watch one live stream, and then YouTube's like, well, he liked the live stream. Let's see if he likes this other guy. They'll tend to feed you more if that's something that you consume.
For a while there, I was watching all the live streams just to stay up to date with what was going on, because I like doing comic books and stuff, and I like looking at campaigns. I want to learn how people are doing it, and there was a lot of talk about, hey, guys, this is how I'm doing it. And so it was very educational. It was fun to learn and about things I didn't think about, and I'm like, okay, this is important. It was watching these channels was actually, in a weird way, kind of like helping me understand how to do it. So it wasn't like watching garbage on TV, But to be honest, that probably would have been better for me than watching just YouTube. Like when you have a night job, like I used to have a night job and I would watch YouTube. I just hit play and draw, listen and draw, and then work whenever, somebody calls or something. I had to do my work, but that was all right. But I hate working night shifts. Anyways, too much of that is a problem as well. Watching too much of that. Video games. Find the time to work on it, even if it's just a little thing, whatever the channel you want to make.
Basically, like you were saying, was kind of like try and create a new habit. Yeah,
exactly. Yep. Exactly.
And you know what? A good example of that, and Jake, man, I got to thank Jake for this. He's working on a video right now, and I haven't had a whole lot of time to like help him out with it. But the time that I have had, we were just chatting, like kind of playing around with stuff the other day, and it was kind of fun because he showed me this thing he was using, this effect that he had gotten. I was like, I can do that. I could do that and probably do better than this thing this like video clip thing that he had gotten. And so I'm sitting there talking to him and trying to figure out how to do it. I haven't messed with these editing programs in a while, like After Effects. So I'm like messing with it, and I'm like, God, dude, I don't remember how to do that halftone animation effect. And so I'm just screwing with this thing forever. Anyways, I did figure it out, and it was a lot of fun to figure that out. And then I spent yesterday, I had a little bit of time after work and everything, so I was just messing around, and I made like a funny little clip that I sent to him and was like, check that out, dude. I did it. It was still, it needed some tweaking, but it was fun getting back into that, you know? Now I'm like, oh, I've got all these ideas. The ideas just start flooding in instead of, you know, what's going on in the live streams right now, or plugging in, literally just sitting down and doing this until it's time to go to bed.
Yeah.
I'm over here doing like, oh, yeah. I'm watching videos on how to do, I had to get brushed up on how to do certain effects with After Effects. So I was watching educational videos that helped to show me how to do it. And I love it. So that's kind of like where I'm at with the media consumption. I'm kind of trying to push myself back into where I was when I used to be more creative and more enthusiastic. I'm trying to get my headspace back into there by kind of doing the same routines, learning.
I'm wondering, so Nick of Time, you're waiting until summertime, and you know, like I have my 2 cents on that. I'm not trying to like knock anything because I completely understand what you're going through on that. What kind of videos are you looking to do? Are you looking to do live streams? Is it comic books, like actual videos, short form? Is it like TikTok style? I'm curious what kind of content you're making.
Yeah, seriously. What are you working on? Yeah, I had a student, a lot of students. They all want to be Twitch streamers or YouTubers or TikTokers, and it's like, okay, well, what do you want to do it about? And I'm like, I don't know. He wants to do comic talk and drawing videos. Nice. Yeah, awesome. We try to do that. I was doing this Comics Underground live to look at, you know, Indiegogo campaigns. Then I started noticing a lot of campaigns that were kind of getting under my skin. I was like, man, I want to talk nice about a lot of these campaigns. But the more I was looking at them, the more I was like, if I'm like, I don't want to be an ass, so I don't want to be looking at these campaigns and calling out all the shit. But I also don't want to be looking at them and just like lying and saying, oh, this looks amazing. I want to be honest. And so I'm like, okay, I needed a break from that so I can get back into positive, because there's a lot of stuff out there that I'm like, I'm looking at these going, what is going on here? So I'm like, let's talk about something else. Let's change the topic. Let's talk about, you know, how to grow a YouTube channel. Let's talk about, I want to do that series where we do the what do you call that? The trench warfare comics, guerrilla warfare, you know, like basically guerrilla marketing. That's the one. Guerrilla marketing when it comes making comic books on the cheap, trying to make, you know, gain a following. And this video
that would make a fantastic series of videos.
Yeah, how to promote yourself, like without, you know, getting out there, getting people to notice you. You know what I mean? That'll be a fun video, and it's like kind of I'm learning as we go. You know, like, because I have ideas, but I haven't put I haven't put all of them to the test. So it'll be kind of fun to see what works, what doesn't. We can all learn together. And channels like that, I think, are actually kind of entertaining as well. You're growing with the audience. We're all learning. So I wanted to start from scratch. Where do we start with making a comic book? All the way to like campaigns and building an audience. Growing a YouTube channel is part of that.
The process.
Yeah.
And Nick, when you get started on that, when you start streaming and doing your video stuff, so that at first that's not going to pop up in anybody's feeds, you know. So make sure, like, let everybody here know. Everybody will support you on that. Watch the videos, and you know, like you're going live. Happy to jump into the chat on that, and you know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, let everybody find.
It's good having that foundation.
You know, as far as growing your YouTube channel, one thing that I would say that would help is, this music's turn that down a little bit. One of the things I would say is find your community. Like Comicsgate was my community, right? I found those guys. I love everybody. Like there's a lot of people in there. There's a couple people that I think are, I don't know, but when I found Comicsgate, everybody was freaking awesome, and I love that group. Comicsgate rocks. And find a community. Everybody helps. Darren Wagner just like shared this stream, right when I posted it. Darren Wagner's badass.
Darren, you're a badass, dude.
Yeah, and Jake is awesome. Me and him were on Dojo's channel, and Dojo's cool too. I wish he would actually join the jump on chat streams. He got burned out, I think, on his channel. And Fanta, get Fanta back in here. Yeah, awesome community. Everybody helping each other, supporting each other is important. And then, so I would say that's an important thing, the way to grow your channel. Find a community, get everybody to help. Nick says, when I say comic talk, I mean who would win in a fight, something like that. Yes,
I'm all about that conversation.
Yeah, I've got one. Dude, I've got one that does the Hulk when he sweats? Does it turn into diamonds? Or does he when he gets all dirty? Does that stuff get into his pores and does it get crushed into diamonds? He's got to be sweating diamonds, right? Literally.
No, because he doesn't have muscles in the pores of his skin. That's stupid.
Yeah, he just his skin.
He's
now it's probably radioactive sweat. Yeah, he's the Hulk. He's got big, strong muscles, but that's underneath his skin.
Yeah, but the muscles aren't. The skin itself is I guess he can bleed, but his skin is tough too. He's not Pitt. Now Pitt, you can shred up and tear him up, but the Hulk, he barely bleeds.
Yeah, see, I bet his skin, it's going to be stronger. So maybe it's alligator skin, maybe elephant skin or something. But it's not Superman skin.
Maybe he shits diamonds. I don't know if he fucking sweats diamonds.
Dude, right? What about his intestines? How does he eat? He ate a tank or some shit, right? Didn't he eat? I know he's eating bombs and stuff. Does he shit diamonds? These are things we need to know. And this is the kind of talk that makes it interesting. You know what I mean? It's fun stuff. I totally agree with that, Nick. That's an awesome idea. We need more of that. And not just who would win between Superman and Goku, but who would win Parcheesi? No, I'm just kidding. Who would win between Tic Tac? Who would win Connect Four? Because screw Tic Tac Toe. Who would win Connect 4?
Yeah, obviously Hulk is going to lose that.
Well, Batman or Iron Man in Connect 4? I don't know. Does it matter? It doesn't matter. Who cares? But Nick says, how would the real world react to mutants was a fun topic I want to talk about, too.
I like that. That's
a cool idea, too, man. Yeah, do it. That sounds like you could do that if you got college. You could do that on a Saturday. Just get some friends.
Yeah, when you sit down, you just sit down with a couple of friends, and you just film that conversation. If you're going to do that in the summer, have a practice session. On a weekend sometime. Invite your friends over. Be like, hey, I'm doing a practice session. I'm going to try this YouTube thing, or get people in on StreamYard, live stream, something like this. However you're going to do it, whatever your plan is. You're going to come across some pitfalls along the way. You're going to learn, there's going to be some things where you're oh, I screwed this up. I didn't know. You have to figure out how to fit this stuff and implement it into your regular schedule, because you're not always going to have that summertime break to be able to do stuff. So start now figuring out, what time could I try this out, and do some experimental runs so that you can learn some of those lessons before you're able to hit the ground running this summer.
Yeah, definitely. Now, I got a question for you. When it comes to your channel, now, I was one of them. I'm okay, I need that 1,000 subscribers as soon as I get, and speaking of which, everybody watching, Nick, are you subscribed? Hit that like and subscribe button, ding, ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss a video.
Make sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you never miss an opportunity to come and join us on this magical adventure.
Right. And we talk about the best stuff here. Now, speaking of that, subscribers when doing your own channel, that's great. That's how you help. That helps you get up to that monetization, which is the thing that helps you get to doing it on, more and more, you're more able to afford doing it. Yep. The other thing, but that's not all. Just in case anyone was not aware.
it's the least important aspect of that whole conversation.
Yeah, it's actually, and I don't even have it. I'm having a hard time getting to 1,000 subscribers, but I'm not doing what I know. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do to get there. But the more important thing that I have been focusing on trying to do is watch time. That's what you have to get 1,000 subscribed. Oh yeah, hell yeah, he hit like nice. So
you're gonna get 3 in return, buddy.
Oh yeah, right. Where's your channel? Oh wait. No, I'm just kidding. I'll subscribe to
Can't
your
do it
channel.
now. You will get 3 in return. I promise you.
Gonna go subscribe as soon as we're done here. So you got to get the 1,000 subscribers, but then you got to get 4,000 watch hours. Oh, well, that's easy. I've got a video from 15 years ago that's got 15,000 views on it, right?
Yep.
Nope. That doesn't count because you have to get 4,000 watch hours within a year and you got to meet all these criteria, and that's just to get monetized. And ultimately, none of that matters because what's monetized if you don't have like a following, right? If you can have a grow channel help you out and get like 30,000 subscribers, nobody watches your video. Hey, Jake showed up. What's up, Jake?
What's up, Jake?
Oh my God, got stuck with a fucking salesman today.
Oh, nice.
He just left.
Oh, wow. Damn, dude,
Did
that's
you buy?
pretty late.
Been here
Just tell
since
him,
5.
take your pamphlet and go home.
No shit.
I don't want any.
Anyway,
Solar panels, my ass. But
Jehovah's Witness? Mm-mm.
yeah,
no.
sell heaven to someone else, you bastard. So you got to get the watch time, you got to get the subscribers, but what good is any of that? You could have your watch time, you could do the grow channel thing and get 30,000 subscribers, and then nobody watches your channel. And YouTube is like,
It actually hurts you.
it actually hurts you because YouTube's like, oh, well, this guy's got all the views and everything, but nobody's watching, so why promote this guy? He's not doing anything that anybody likes.
So here's a thought on the watch time thing. Well, first off, there's two components to this. Like if you're talking about making money with your channel, there's a couple of different components with this. If you're talking about making money with your channel, I made $5,000 on my channel before I was ever monetized. Like YouTube monetization is the lowest form of income that is available through YouTube AdSense.
Yep.
So don't worry about that. Like you can get there, but work on affiliate marketing, work on selling a product, work on sponsorships, work on Patreon. All of that stuff should be kicking YouTube monetization's ass. And start building that up before you can start making money before you're monetized. Second thing, 4,000 watch hours is harder to get than 1,000 subscribers. 1,000 subscribers is not that difficult. It takes one video. And it takes one video to get 4,000 hours. It's got to be a good video. But 1,000 subscribers will not get you 4,000 watch hours. However, 4,000 watch hours will get you 1,000 subscribers. So focus on the 4,000. And then one other thing on that, and this pertains to like all you guys here, you don't have to get 4,000 watch hours to get monetized. You only have to get 3,000. With 3,000 watch hours and 500 subscribers, you get super chats. And if you're doing live
I didn't know
streams,
that.
super
I thought you had to be
chats take the
monetized.
shit out of AdSense.
See, I thought you had to have monetized meant super chats as part of that.
They changed that like a year and a half ago when they added shorts. When shorts became a thing, when they monetized shorts, they implemented new monetization rules, and the shorts monetization rules, screw them, they are dumb. Like don't even bother with those. That's nonsense. But as part of that, for community funding, which is super chats and audience applause, and there's some other ones where people can donate money to you through YouTube. But that's 3,000 watch hours and 500 subscribers.
So how do you get that? How do you get the watch hours? What's the trick? There's the trick, right? There's always got to be a trick. There
is a trick. It's difficult to do when you're just doing live streams because live streams don't. They're a lot of fun and they're valuable for people who watch live streams. They're a lot of fun and valuable when they are live. But then once they are no longer live, it is like nobody wants to watch them. There's generally speaking, there's less value watching it after the fact. It's not to say no value. It's to say focus on the value that you provide. make your live stream a great presentation, especially that first 30 seconds. They need to hit the ground running. It needs to be poppy. It needs to be the most amazing thing ever. Make it fun to watch and make it interesting and valuable after it is no longer live. The other thing is you need to put out some videos. You need to figure out a way to put out like some how-to videos, some videos that people are going to want to watch. Because when you can get those videos, like a regular 10-minute video, into the YouTube recommendations, I mean, dude, like 1,000 views on a regular video is not a hard thing to accomplish, and that is going to get you watch time. Like when you combine that in your live streams, if you make your live stream valuable after it's no longer live, and if you supplement that with some, just maybe once a month video, I'd suggest once a week, but do once a month if that's what you have to be able to do. Combining those two different aspects is like tripling your opportunities.
So because I've always seen like these YouTubers say like you need to find your niche and stick to it. Now, if your live streams kind of venture away from your niche, will that negate what you're doing with your videos, or are your live streams and videos separate from what you
It's
get?
the last thing that you put out, basically, is the push that YouTube gives.
Videos stand. Peter's right about that. There's a recommendation bump for the newest video that lasts like 72 hours. So if, like, for example, if you're going to put out a video, put out a short, and let's say you have a video and a shorts video. The shorts video has no value. It's going to inflate a bunch of views and it's going to make you feel all warm and fuzzy, but the views don't mean anything. You don't want to put out your video, the thing that's going to, earn you some money, the thing that's going to get you some subscribers and get a bunch of watch time stuff. You don't want to put that out and then 3 hours later put out a shorts video, because now the shorts video is going to be the primary recommendation on your channel, and it's going to take away some of the new content views that could have gone to a more valuable video.
So if you
now sticking to a niche, that is important. It's not a YouTube algorithm thing. I do videos. I give myself as a personal rule of thumb. I'm doing this as business stuff, but 5% of the videos that I make, that is for me. I don't give a fuck if I'm doing Care Bear videos or like mop tutorials. That's for me. If that's what I want to do, that video is for me. It's not going to hurt my channel. That's something that I do because I get to enjoy the content that I make. That's not going to hurt anything. Where niche will hurt you is if you do comic book videos, then you want to stick to comic book videos, generally speaking, because somebody watches that video and then they're like, I kind of like this. I like what this guy's doing. I kind of want to subscribe to this. He's speaking to me and what I need. They go look at your other videos and they see that you have a mop tutorial, or a video about the Care Bears, and he's like, oh, never mind, that was a one-off. He isn't speaking to me. That's where getting outside your niche is going to hurt you.
There's another problem with the... go ahead.
I can think of one thing when it comes to niches. Like, there was Minecraft. Minecraft was this huge thing. Basically, like, all these YouTubers would go and do Minecraft videos, and they'd wind up with millions of followers. But there was this one guy, I can't remember his name right now. He got tired of Minecraft and wanted to change his content up to do like a different game, something else. And as soon as he switched, he lost like 90% of his audience.
Yeah, that's called a pivot. And you got to suffer through that. If you're going to, you got to pivot sometimes. You can do a soft pivot, try to generally lead the audience with you. But under normal circumstances, people come to you for a thing, they subscribe to you for a thing. And, maybe your personality catches them and they're willing to stick with you regardless. But most of the time, they came to you, they stick with you for a reason. And now when you're changing, you have lost that reason why they got you in the first place.
Yeah, and then I noticed a problem with like live streams. I never go look at old live streams, even if they are relevant. Like if we're going to talk about a general topic that can last, decades and still be a relevant conversation 10 years from now. The problem is it's a live stream, so my brain instantly looks at it and goes old news.
Yeah.
So I don't go back and watch. I might go back and watch an old Joe Rogan episode, but if he's got a newer episode with that guest, I'm not watching the old one. I want to see the up to date one, unless it's like a Alex Jones episode.
you can take your live stream, because Joe Rogan has the same issue. People want to see the new Joe Rogan podcast, not the one from 7 years ago. It's not relevant anymore. But he can take those interviews that he does, he can clip them into 5 and 7 minute videos. He downloads that video, he cuts them into 5 and 7 minute. You know, somebody asks he asks a question, the other guy, they have a little laugh, they talk about it for 7 minutes, and now that is a standalone piece of content and its own 7 minute video. You can do that with your live streams. You can repurpose the pieces of it as content.
But even those are like, they get out of date pretty quick. That's what you're talking about.
But a conversation about the Hulk shitting diamonds, like you can take package that and make it viable for years. Maybe not 10.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I've got videos from 8 years ago that are still like, there's somebody watching one of my videos from 8 years ago right now, this minute. Somebody is doing it.
See, I always equated live streams to like a radio talk show, right? So on my way to work, I listen to Bob and Tom on YouTube. It's an old radio station that takes place up in Indianapolis, Indiana. I've listened to them since I was little because my dad listened to them since the 70s. And so I got, pretty much attached to that radio show. But they do a live version of it for YouTube. So there's the radio show on Q95, and then there's the radio show on YouTube. And I'll watch that radio show on my way to work in the morning, but I never go back to watch it, even though it is a video now for past dates. So I can see how that can translate to making a live stream into a clipped video. But I think.
But do you go back and watch, like I don't know, a year-old video? Like you watch this live stream or YouTube channel or whatever, the radio show. Do you go back, or do you watch the latest one that they've put out, and then maybe one or back if you've missed one, or do you go back a year if you've watched all?
If I go back, it's like because I might have missed one of the days that they did, but I never go back farther than 2 days.
Yeah, exactly.
YouTube, like I watch Joe Rogan. So YouTube, I watch the 5 to 7 minute clips. Like I'll be at the gym and I'll put on YouTube while I'm, on the treadmill or something, and it'll recommend me Joe Rogan and some of his guests. Like YouTube knows I'm in tune with some of his guests. I'm not in tune with some of the other ones. And he did an interview with Kelly Slater, a professional surfer. I enjoy surfing. He did an interview with that, and it showed a 5 to 7 minute clip of Joe Rogan talking to Kelly Slater, and you're damn right I watched that. I want to hear about like Kelly Slater's worst wipeouts ever. And then YouTube saw that, and they recommended me the next 5 to 7 minute clip, which was Kelly Slater talking about like the girl that he dated, like Pamela Anderson or something like that, and something else. And so I ended up watching like several of these videos of Joe Rogan talking to Kelly Slater. This is like my bread and butter. This is what I want to see, That interview was like 5 years ago.
That's interesting because Kelly Slater's not somebody you need to be up to date with what he's talking. If it's Elon Musk, if you watched a year-old video of Elon Musk, then it's out of date. It's completely useless, in my opinion. That particular interview might have like 1 or 2 gems in it, but there's so much that's happened since then regarding Elon Musk. Kelly Slater, not so much. You could go back and watch that interview. Like, for example, the Y-Files guy. He was on Joe Rogan, and I went and watched his Joe Rogan episode, but apparently it was like a clip, or I don't know. I couldn't find the actual video where he was the guest back in the day. And anyways, like that's something I would go back and watch. But the Y-Files live streams, no. Because I watch his videos, but his live streams, I'm not going to go back and watch his live streams.
Speaking of which, I love him. I forget his name. I love that dude to death. But like
AJ,
that's
where
AJ.
the hell are your videos, AJ? He just put one out today, I think.
You guys, I love you, AJ. If you're watching, let's talk because I'd love to have a conversation with you. But you guys do a better job with the live streams than he does.
Oh,
he fumbles through it. He doesn't know what he's doing. It's funny. That's half the fun.
As he gives his wife constant shit on those. That's kind of funny. I actually like his live streams when I get a chance to catch them. But yeah, it's not something I'll go back and rewatch.
He booted me off of one, which AJ, sorry, we're gonna have to have words about that, buddy.
Yeah.
But he booted me off a live stream one time, and it was not deserved. It was not.
When you
not,
got a
not
channel
cool,
like
AJ.
when you got a channel like his, I just turn the chat off. I don't even look at the chat. I don't even bother. I'm never gonna get my chat read unless it's a super chat. And honestly, as great of an invention as the super chat is, I don't understand why people go to these channels, where there's thousands of people just to say the stuff they do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For like $500, like I want to say, I disagree with what you just said, and that's it. There's no like, wow. I wish I had that kind of money to throw away.
That's like Ryan Hall, y'all. I don't know if you guys know who Ryan Hall, y'all, is on YouTube, but he's like a weather channel guy. He's a meteorologist. And whenever like big weather patterns take place, he immediately goes live and tell you what's going to be going on for like maybe the week or the next 3 days.
That's
or
pretty
whatever.
smart, actually.
But I would double down on that and say that, like, anybody who wants to start a YouTube channel, one of the smartest things you could do is do a YouTube channel about local weather.
Well, he does it for the whole nation, but when a severe thunderstorm takes place that like encompasses, like it did this past week, from Mississippi up to Kentucky, he covers that whole space.
That's the guy you put onto me, right? You showed me that channel because I'm subscribed to it now. Yeah, he does pretty good.
And so when you see that big red tape just go across the screen, he'll zoom in to the places where it's purple, where thunderstorms and tornadoes will likely take place. And he has guys that help him out in those areas, storm chase. And so he'll give out the news there live. And I love it. I love Ryan Hall's channel.
The one thing I don't like about his channel, every video has that big red blur on it.
Yes.
And then sometimes I'm in that red blur, and I'm like, dude, I don't see no red blur.
It's blue sky tonight.
It's like 68 and it's nice out. And I'm like going to do some gardening.
Well, I'm right here next to Kentucky, so we don't have mountains around me anymore. Mountains is down in the Nashville area. We go through the mountains, and now I'm just up in the plains, which is where all the tornado stuff takes place. And we're always on guard during this time of year.
That is actually a good channel because there was one time where he was doing a live stream, I think, and it said lightning and thunderstorms in Texas or something, and I clicked on it. As soon as I clicked on it, I got a notification, one of those like emergency notifications for tornado warnings in my area, and I was like, oh shit, I was just looking at his channel for that. That was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to him about being a correspondent for the Corpus Christi area for the hurricanes.
There you go.
That'd be cool.
That'd be awesome.
Now, you were talking about when it comes to monetization on your channel. Now, affiliate links. I think of the affiliates. Talk about that for a second, because it's an interesting thing, and you're right. You don't even have to be monetized. The money you get, from my understanding, is not that much when it comes to AdSense and everything. Even super chats, when you're growing,
typically lower.
Affiliates are lower?
Well, they are, generally speaking, and especially for somebody who's just jumping in. So what an affiliate link is, and the easiest one to sign up for is Amazon. You just go to affiliates.amazon.com, I think is the site, or just do a search for Amazon affiliate. It'll take you to the site. And what they do is you sign up for the account, and then through your web page on Amazon, your account web page, you can go through and search for products. Like I do fishing stuff, so I'll look for a fishing rod. I look up the rod that I'm using. And then when I'm out fishing, I'll be like, hey, oh my God, I just caught this fish. I'm using this rod and reel. And, if you're curious about using this rod and reel, this is why I love it. And of course, this is like a very hokey way of explaining it, but this is just a simplistic version of it. I caught the fish using this rod and reel. And if you want to look into this thing, I've got a link in the description of the video down below. And you include the link to that rod through your affiliate account. And if they buy anything, they click on that link, and if they buy anything off of Amazon in the next 24 hours, you get like a 3% commission. It used to be 8%, and there are differences, like books are worth more than sporting goods. So you'll get like 8% on books, 3% on sporting goods. But if they click on that link and they go and buy a book, I get that 8% commission on that book. So if they buy $100 book, I get $8.
Yeah, and Spreadshirt's another one, right?
The overview. Okay. And for Amazon, like you can do this through Walmart, you can do it through a specialty place. So Amazon is the easy one, but what I want to do is I want to sign up for Penn and their affiliate stuff. I use a lot of Shimano gear. I want to sign up for a Shimano affiliate account because I don't want to go through the generic Amazon thing. That I have an affiliate that I work with right now that pays me 70% of their sales. And we're talking about like a $500 product. I get 70% of that if somebody signs up.
Oh, hell yeah. What about a few years ago, I heard about, everyone was talking about, and I think the reason why a lot of these channels that are like these hate channels, I think, and anyways, these, what is it called? Sponsorship. Getting sponsored. Like 10, 15 years ago, everyone's like, oh, I'm going to get sponsored. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I want to get sponsored. Oh, I'm going to get comp tickets to this thing because that's what I'm going to make my channel about. So I'm going to get comp tickets. And you hear people going, I'm going to get comps to Disneyland. I'm like,
yeah, that pro staff deal.
Yeah, I want to get tickets I want to be one of the behind the scenes, one of the first people to go watch this movie. I'm going to get comp tickets because my channel's growing and I'm going to, I get all this free shit. And I think that, there's a mentality that still kind of lingers from people like that who they harp on all this stuff because they want to be critics to get free shit, basically.
Sadly, all they get is NordVPN.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah,
honey,
or
shitting on your product.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah. Are y'all familiar with the honey scam?
No.
Well, let's hear it.
Yeah.
Dude, it is glorious. It is such a, like Mr. Beast signed on, like all these huge names. Honey is a browser extension that when you go to a website, it has a little pop-up that says, oh, there's a discount code for this thing you're looking at on Amazon. Here, you can use this discount code and save 10%. Like that's what the browser extension does. So everybody had honey, and they were buying a bunch of sponsorship deals with big guys. Leon Lush, I think, did them. Mr. Beast did it. Wang, a lot of guys. Copies. I don't know if CopyZilla did it. Anyway, so a lot of big names signed up for this deal. But they found out after like 2 years, his video is killer, and I don't remember his name, but you can look up Honey Scam, and you'll find the guy who posted the original investigative piece that they did on it. But he's a tech guy, and so he signed up, or Honey tried to sign him to a deal, and he was looking into it. And what they were doing is, like anytime somebody signs up using Honey through Mr. Beast's link, then Mr. Beast gets a cut. But what Honey was doing is every time that little thing pops up and says, hey, here's a discount, when they click on that discount, it was rerouting that affiliate link. It changed it from being Mr. Beast's link to being a Honey link. So Honey didn't have to, they're paying themselves. On top of that, they made it where, they had a pop-up that was like, so, ding, you can save 10% using this discount code. But what Honey was also doing was their website would pop up, ding, you got the best price available. There's no discounts. Hit here to continue. And people hit continue, and it was now no longer Mr. Beast's affiliate. It switched over to Honey. So they were just straight up stealing everybody's affiliate money.
Wow.
Why would they keep promoting it if they weren't getting any money off?
Oh, I know. The second that guy pointed it out, it was a huge thing on YouTube. Everybody just destroyed Honey. Like nobody uses Honey. It's like the big story of 2024, I think.
I'm waiting for that to come out about coffee, and it kind of did. It kind of did with the Quarterings Coffee Company. I don't know if Tim Pool uses the same one. I think he goes through Canada, but the Quarterings Coffee thing was that's like this company out of Salt Lake City, right? Basically, they just make coffee and then they put it in white, like label-less bags, and then send it off to these YouTubers. They're like,
and they slap their own sticker on it.
But the catch was this company went to Salt Lake City to start a coffee company, right? which is a heavily Mormon. It's like the Mormon city, right?
Yep.
Which they don't drink coffee. So they were doing like a political statement, which would be probably on the lefty side, right? Which is probably the opposite of, say, what the quartering would be promoting. Yet he's buying their coffee with their grifting. I think that validates that's a grift, right? You're like, hey, I got a bunch of coffee to sell. I need somebody to sell it, and since I'm obviously not selling it here, I was an idiot who decided to sell coffee in a place that people don't drink coffee, and so just to be a dick, so I'm going to sell it to YouTubers, and of course the YouTubers are like, oh, I can put my label on it and then buy my coffee. It's my coffee.
I commend them on it. I mean, it's not like they're selling a poisonous product or anything. They're probably getting some tax breaks because Salt Lake City is like the new tech mecca. So I'm sure there's some tax savings sitting there. They're just warehousing it there. It's not like they're having a successful coffee company. And they're basically just creating a drop shipping product. It's the same thing as like using Spreadshirt. Which also, everybody, you want to make some money on YouTube, that's a way to do it too, is merchandising through a drop shipping company.
Spreadshirt's not bad because, yeah, you don't have to pay for – you're not going to get hardly anything per shirt.
And the quality is poor. But
the quality's not great, but it's and you're only going to get a little bit. But so I guess it depends on how much you love your audience. Now, to be fair,
also, you're not going to put any work into it. It's if you have like a funny thing, like a funny quote, like hashtag more Peter.
Yeah,
you slap that onto a shirt, and it's available for that. Just when that's a thing on one of our live streams that we do. Peter pops in, and it's everybody's hashtag more Peter. It's a little joke going on. So I really need to slap that onto a shirt and have it there just so that people can be like, like they get into the spirit of things and they're like, you know what, I'm going to buy a shirt. I don't need to make $1 off of it. Just they can have the shirt. And have fun.
You can. It's just like a cheap, easy way to get your merch out there. You might get like 50 cents or $1. I will say the quality, you can choose the quality that you sell on there. Because I have a hoodie that we got from there, and it's actually been holding up over the years. Like, it's a cool hoodie. Okay. And it's a decent hoodie. It was maybe a little overpriced, but the quality of the hoodie was good. The print was kind of 50-50. And I think knowing how they print it now, I kind of think I could do a better design that would work for that company. But if you just had something like hashtag more Peter, you can't go wrong with something stupid. I always want a shirt that says ADHD AF. I don't need to go print a whole shitload of shirts. You know what I mean? I could go to Spreadshirt. I don't need a dime for those shirts, I don't care about the money. Having just a bunch of shirts that say that, it'd be funny, and it's not so uniquely original that, like, I'm sure there might already be a dozen shirts out there that say that. But, anyways, so Spreadshirt, these companies, but when it comes to like the quartering and the coffee, I don't understand. It's so separated. I get you need a product, right? You want to make some money. You got to have a product. You got a channel. You got a following. Why not have a decent product? Well, you got like Geeks and Gamers. Well, they're making dolls of themselves. I think it's creepy and weird. Why not make something cool like hats or shirts? Why not the quartering making shirts? Get his name out there.
You're saying dolls? Are you meaning like Funko Pops?
No, like plushies.
You mean like Funko Pops?
Like shitty plushies. It's like the same basic design.
Is there a Camelot plushie doll?
Idea is kind of...
There should be. He's got a race car. Like you actually. Yeah, Go ahead. Yes.
By a lot of different I was going to say the plushie idea was being sold by a lot of different streamers, so it might just be them trying to jump on to something else. Like, cause I know, like with VTubers, for instance.
Yeah,
like,
it's not wrong.
Big VTuber merch.
Yeah, but it's like that's
so they
okay.
Saw that went on board, but
it's a grift because they have print.
Like a physical person.
It's like those. You go to Walmart and you get like that make your own doll kit, right? And it's like it's a cutout of a figure. Now these are a little better than that, but it's a basic general design that they just print a stupid like emoji like face on it, and then that's like, oh, here's your ass doll. Here's your Jeremy Geeks and Gamers, and and then who's the other one? Gary didn't even come with a crack pipe. So I felt like that's a ripoff. They should be selling shirts. Now I get the quartering. So like, I need something that's people are going to want to buy every month. You're not going to buy a shirt every month or a hat every month. Okay. Well, there's got to be something out there that you need to buy every month. Like,
yeah, I mean, Jeremy's not the
paper.
kind of guy that's going to sit there and put heavy research into whatever product it is. He's got somebody that's willing to sell him, you know, like to turnkey copy and let him slap his own bullshit ass face label on there. Like, I get it.
You know what? Since Jeremy didn't do it, I'm going to do this. Toilet paper. I want you to wipe your ass with Peter toilet. Peter,
Jeremy,
POS.
Are you only going to sell quarter sheets?
Oh, that'd be. You know what? Quartering. You should do it. That's actually perfect, and it could have his face on every fucking square. It'll have that bearded thing on it, and you can wipe your ass with Jeremy's face. That'd be great. If not, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do like a thing, maybe a logo with a beard.
Oh, you gotta wear your sunglasses when you do it too.
Oh yeah, I'll put my glasses on there, and then you can wipe your ass with my face. I get every last drop.
I make sure you have your tongue out too. That way you just know.
Yeah, you need to glue like pieces of Brillo pad onto the beard.
It can't be hard to get toilet paper made, right? And you need toilet paper.
It can't be. I mean, it's going to be expensive after the pandemic, but you got to be able to do it.
Double ply. Yeah, that's something I think is like a legit thing that a YouTuber could sell. If you don't, especially if you read the
hashtag more Peter.
Yeah, right. Especially if you're reading the news for a living, or like throwing opinions out there for a living, or lecture. I wouldn't even say opinions. Opinions are one thing. Lecturing your audience is fucking that. Then you should be selling toilet paper, not coffee.
Peter paper.
Oh, it sells itself.
So back to like YouTube. What do you think is a good way to let's say, okay, I've got my channel going and I'm not seeing a whole lot of success. I need the subscribers. I need the viewers. What would you recommend doing? Live stream. We talked about live streams. What about videos? I think videos are the important thing to do. But
okay, so I'm going to venture into unpopular opinion here, and unpopular opinion territory. So, and I want to like leave that disclaimer first.
Yeah, Justice Soto just walked into a literal shit storm.
What's up, man?
What's going on? I'm selling toilet paper. I'm getting in on it.
With
on the
Brillo
ground
pads
floor.
For his beard on his face.
Nick's back, and you missed the shit talking.
All right, so venturing into unpopular like opinion territory here. So the thing, like, if somebody's got their channel going and they're looking for a way to gain some traction on their stuff, that there are different things that you can do. Obviously, work on making the content the absolute best you can do. The number one thing that you really need to do is focus on the value that you're providing for the person on the other side of the screen. It's one human being. You are not like Justin and Nick and everybody. You're not all sitting on a couch together watching this. It's not y'all. It's not a group of people. It's one human being probably watching on their phone. I would address it like that and provide that person value. You want to be making something that they want to watch. And one of the things that you can do, because that can be a difficult thing to wrap your head around, there are companies out there, and also FYI, like I can't drop any names on any of this right now. I'm working with some of these companies, and I'm not going to drop their names and I'm not going to drop affiliate links or anything like that because I want this to be an honest conversation. But there are companies like vidIQ does this kind of poorly, but vidIQ offers this. Tube Spanner is a company that's up and coming, and they have some really cool stuff that they're going to be offering. There's a company called
I've heard a lot
Creative
about
Fuel.
Tube Spanner. Yeah, and Creative Fuel. I was looking up. Tube Spanner does Creative Fuel. I did not realize.
Tube Spanner and Creative Fuel are kind of buddies in the space.
Okay,
they're
because I like Creative Fuel. Like that's where you can go to get like logos and stuff made, right?
I don't think they might do that. They're always, both of those companies are always, they're putting out stuff every week. Like I don't even remember to keep up with it all. I don't think they do that. But what they do, both of them, and they have different things that they offer, but there's other companies that do this too. Keywords Everywhere, Headline Code Schedule. There's some different ones. But focusing on TubeSpan or Creative Fuel, what these guys offer are things like the ability to look and see what people are looking for in your area. So if you're talking about comic books, they offer tools. They're like, okay, you do comic books. They literally will look at like, okay, so there's other creators out here that do comic book content. What are the things that are successful with the content they're making? Well, it's successful when they do a video that's about this or this or this. There are people who are looking for videos that are about this and this and this, and nobody's made these videos. So they give you that information, and then you can then take that and be like, okay, like I don't really have an idea for a video this week. Let's see what's popular that nobody's made a video about. Look up their thing, and then you can kind of rework that to be something that fits for you. But I just did it today. I was like, okay, I'm going fishing. I'm going to make a fishing video. I looked on one of these, using the software from one of these companies, and it was like, make a video about the most underrated fish in Texas. And I was like, oh my God. Of course, I never thought about that. It was not an idea that I ever had, but then they suggested, and that's the video that I made today. I don't have any like test case on that one, but I have done that to great success with other videos in the past.
You know, and for those who are watching, it's like there are these apps out there that have tools that can help you with the analytics and everything, and suggestions with your videos, and that's what TubeSpanner is a new app.
TubeSpanner's a good one.
They basically, they have tools that help you kind of like check out what's going on with your channel and what can help. And I don't know, do they do like a thumbnail thing where you can check your thumbnails out? Hey, so we got in here. Welcome to the show, Nick of Time. What's up, man?
What's up, man?
Why did you say that? I wish we could
jump in and get it going. I love it.
Yeah, man. He's like, I could join y'all. Oh, that was guest. Looks like his internet was kind of wigging out on me a second ago.
Yeah, he was roboting a lot.
Yeah,
never heard him talk.
It's all good, man. I just now looking here in the chat. He's giving
that's his shtick.
He didn't want me to like, what's it called? He didn't want me to like end the show while in the middle of this talk.
Yeah, right. Cut him off.
No, that's all good. What's going on, man? So you're talking about doing a channel?
Yeah, I hearing you talk, like I at least thought of the idea of like at least one day a week I can like make time for like at least releasing one video a week is what I'm trying to say is.
Yeah, if you can do one video a week, I can't tell you how powerful that is. You want to make it a good video, like focus on quality. Don't focus on quantity. Everybody's like, you got to go daily. You got to go 10 times. No, screw all that. I post twice a month. Like, I'm not going to say. And here's some numbers for you because I love numbers. I'm a numbers guy. So a couple years ago, I got some advice from a coach that charges $500 an hour to coach channels. And he was telling me, like I was doing like 175,000 views a year at the time. And he's like, hey, you want to scale this? You want to make money? Here are some things. He gave me some great advice. He gave me, and I love the guy to death. I'm not going to drop his name because I'm about to shit talk him, but I love him to death to this day. He gives great advice. But I was making 175,000 views a year. No, I'm sorry. I was making 125,000 views a year at the time. And he told me, he's like, dude, you want to scale this. You want to make more money. You want to make this a professional thing. You're making one video a week. You can double this. You can do 2 videos a week and you will triple your views. You will do all this stuff. And I'm like, that makes sense. I get it. I understand. And I'm off on the numbers at this beginning part. I apologize. So I forget what I was making at the time. I tripled my views. When I doubled my content, I tripled my views. It was when I did that, I was making 175,000 views a year. I did that for 2.5 years. I doubled my content and I tripled my views. I was making 175,000 at the time. I absolutely wore myself out. The content that I was making was not the same quality because I was just it was blistering going through that process. It was 2 videos plus a live, and I was also doing some other stuff at the time. So it was a lot. It was every single day I'm putting in 3 or 4 hours trying to make all these videos and get all this content, and I'm on a schedule. I've got to get another video out tomorrow. It doesn't matter if I didn't catch fish. It doesn't matter if it's a good video. I got to get it out. Got 175,000 views, putting out hammering out quantity. After 2.5 years, I was like, dude, I can't do this. I don't even like it. I went to a conference. I ran into somebody that I very much admire. And he's like, hey, I want to see your channel. I want to check it out. And I was like, oh, my God, I do not want him to see my channel right now. I don't want him to see the last video that I put out. It's garbage. It's not a good video. It's kind of like a come to God moment. Like, I'm not proud of this. So the next year, this was 2024, I was like, screw that. I can't do this. I am going to focus, like come hell or high water, YouTube be damned. I'm going to make videos that I am proud of. When I go to these conferences, when I run into Demolition Ranch or I run into Deer Meat for Dinner or one of these guys, I want to be like Robert Arrington, dude, this is a video that I'm proud of. If I ride an elevator with Mr. Beast and he asks me about my channel, that dude is like, I'm going to be proud of the work that I put out. 2.5 years, 175,000 views a year by doing like an ungodly amount of videos. So last year I put out 33 videos and I made 175,000 views. I did not skip a beat. I didn't lose. Now I didn't blow up or gain anything, but I was able to completely match what I was doing. And I did, I was doing over 100 videos a year. I went to 30 videos last year. Didn't skip a beat because they were higher quality. People were watching them more.
Corey's in the chat. What's up, Corey?
So don't sweat it. If you can go once a week, go once a week. You're fine. If you have to miss a week, that's okay. You can be the boss that you deserve to have. You can be like, you know what? I'm taking this week off because I deserve it, and you're fine. Algorithm's not going to hate you for that.
Do you have a channel up and going, Nick?
Well, I just started this one. The other one I'm using for business purposes when what I'm using this channel for is like, I don't know if it's smart or dumb, but like I'm just posting videos, whatever I want to talk about, however I feel, like comics or art, for this channel. But for the other channel, when I feel comfortable, when I feel like I have enough views or like subscribers or people that watch me, I can be like, hey, you can check out this channel because pretty soon I'm going to use that channel for like business, for my story, my comic.
Okay, so you got your company channel and then you got like your personal channel. That way you can separate it. It's going to be, I think that's a good idea, but also like it's mixed because it's twice the work if you're working on channels. You're going to have 2 channels, so it's twice the amount of work. But if you're just promoting on one, if you're just basically using one to promo your comic book and put all comic book related stuff and news on there, and it doesn't matter how many subscribers and viewers, if you're not trying to get monetized on the channel, that's not a bad idea.
I would say, like, it is twice the work doing 2 channels. What is the thing that's holding you back from wanting to promote on a primary channel?
Promote? Like, what do you mean?
Like, why wouldn't you want to promote
both channels into one?
Oh, it's because I don't know. Like, I don't know. Maybe someone doesn't like me or what I have to say, and then I'm like, well, I don't want my business to suffer, so I try to separate me from my business as much as possible. Is it, so that if I say something stupid, it won't hurt my business as much. If I but I don't know if that's true or not. Look, it's their theory.
It's true, but I would say that while that's true, like you could say something stupid, and you have a business channel, you're trying to promote your comic, you're trying to keep that separate, and you have your other channel where you're a lot more comfortable, and you're going to say the things that you believe, and you give yourself the right and the ability, the flexibility to say something stupid.
Yeah,
but at the same time, while that may happen, there's also the possibility that you say something stupid and people are like, oh, dude, like that was very genuine and that was very authentic. He's being real. That's the kind of personality I want to subscribe to.
That's me every week.
You might you might have somebody who's going to leave because you're being genuine and you're saying things they don't agree with. You are also going to have people who are like, well, he's genuine and I agree with him. I kind of want to subscribe because of that. So do your thing. I'm not trying to persuade you, but also I wouldn't stress about that quite as much.
All right.
I do understand the idea that your thoughts and views might drive somebody away from buying your book if you're trying to sell
They
a
might.
book. So you might want to keep it separated. But on the other
I don't know.
hand, you're going to get more views. I would personally stick with the one channel idea, but
I would too. That's how I would do it.
now Corey's got a point here, though. He says could put up a Hoot Babe poster on the background. Just don't do the pink and blue lighting. I'm doing pink and green. Pink and green and blue. You should do like pink and green like me. Actually,
Stand
my changes color.
outdoors in like the lighting of like your patio light.
I want to do the outdoors thing, but I want to get my color changing light to shine.
Here's the thing I want to say for Nick, though, when it comes to worrying about people who do and don't like you for something. Just as many people are going to dislike you as people that will like you. And the people that like you are going to stick around.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you might. You have the potential of gaining a more. When you are like being genuine and authentic is really an important thing on YouTube, because people don't. They come to YouTube for personalities, for people, for human beings, and you stand a chance of having a more genuine connection with a human being, being yourself.
Yeah,
You want to be
and that
110% yourself, but be yourself.
Not only that,
like
that genuine. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was saying Corey's saying to be more like you with the comics and posters in the background. You should see his
'cause I'm
floor.
just firing on all cylinders over here.
Jake showed me his floor, and I was like, "Holy shit!" And I tried to show him my floor because is it covered in comics? This is a thing that's going to happen. My floor is covered in comics. Jake's is too, so I don't feel bad.
Yeah.
I have
My camera.
I have an entire bookshelf behind my computer.
There you
That
go.
needs to be your background.
That needs to be
the house.
behind you. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that needs to be
attached the house.
behind
You
you.
can't move it. You know.
So
Can you
when it
move your
comes-
camera?
It's on top of the screen.
No, don't worry about it. You don't have to do it right
Not
now.
right now. Like we're talking about like studio set design. Like
Mine's way up here. Okay, so don't worry about people bitching about your camera.
Well,
Yeah, but when I mess with mine, it goes like dead. That's why I can't move it at all, hardly.
Well, it's just my desk is also attached to the house, so it's like the desk and in order to capture what I'm seeing right now up there is like is if I had the camera behind me right there.
yeah.
I mean, I guess I could do that, but I don't know. Like maybe it could work.
Well, comic books are cooler to look at than a bed. Just saying.
Yeah.
That's what.
And
People are going to, like, FYI, people are going to, so especially when you're live streaming, what they will do is while they're watching you, there are going to be points in the conversation where they're going to get a little bored.
Yeah,
it's not something that they're
exactly.
into. And what they're going to do is they're going to be looking at the things in your background and they're going to be like, judging you, I guess is the best way of putting it. So you can either have them judge your bedroom right there, and judging what you got hanging up on the wall and whether or not your bed is made and why you have a headboard on the bed and that's so like 1997, or you can give them something to actually look
headboard.
at.
I think my bed has the. Yeah.
You're worrying about all the stuff
Oh,
that
no.
I'm worried about, and dude, I tell you once.
Now hold on.
It,
Go
it
ahead.
looks fine. Your background looks fine. I've got Captain
It
America.
does. It does.
I've got a poster of something. I can't really make it out.
That's
And
Winter
then you got
Soldier.
your hat rack and whatnot. It's a simplistic background for a bedroom. If you want to do
It's also
something,
personal. Like,
yeah, very much so. If you want to leave that lighting as it is, that's fine. Just roll with what you got. I can guarantee you, I was not just rolling off the cuff like it seems I am right now on my very first video. Okay?
Yeah.
I was stumbling all over the place, and I still stumble today. You
Oh,
just-
yeah. Go back
I've
and
got
watch
1,000
my old
live streams,
videos.
and yeah, I still fumble through them.
I didn't
Just
have
so-
any lighting in my old videos. I had this stupid ceiling light that drove me nuts.
Right. Like all this came together within like a week or a month, not a week, because stuff was plastered all over this. I had to make it look nice and look like, I actually had some kind of, organization skills. And so, it just takes time, but
Okay.
You know what? Like, lighting makes more of a difference anyway. If you just
Right.
got like a little light on your, like a little light on the face, throw some colored lights in the background, and dude, you got a set.
Yeah. I mean, I need color lights, but how much do they cost?
$10.
It depends. Yeah, $10. There's,
Go to Home Depot. You get a couple of the can lights, the $5 can lights, and you put wax paper over them, and you color that any color you want.
now hold on a minute, because I've got a couple things here. Right in front of me, this lighting on my face, that's coming from a ring light over here. That's okay. And okay, look at these yellow. It's like it changes color, but underneath, it's a totally different color, and that's because underneath I've got my desk, which I turned into a light box. It was one of those clear desks, and then I took a bunch of cheap like lighting LEDs, and then I turned my desk into a light box so that I could draw and everything, and then it's cool because it changes color. For the back,
here now.
So for the background, that's like some DMX lighting. That was for stage lighting that I got for making films and stuff, and I just turn it on every day and put it up there. I don't like it because it's hot, but that's all I had left to use. So that's kind of like, you don't need that. It doesn't even make a difference if it was that or something else.
Corey, if I tried to grow in a beard, it would be so patchy, and I would look like fucking. These guys can actually grow beards, so leave it to them.
Because beards is where it's at, Corey.
How long have you had your beard?
He's trying.
I've had this. I shave it like once a year, down to like down to like short, and then a year later
is what I'm saying.
The first beard?
Yes.
I was like 23.
Yeah, maybe 10. Maybe I was like
10.
25, maybe.
I got something that I'll never have, Corey. Look at this beautiful widow's peak I have. Look at it. This is beautiful widow's peak. I've got the best widow peak ever. I got Vegeta hair. So
that's a cool haircut. I will say that.
Yeah,
I do like your hair, Jake.
I need a good haircut.
My hair looks stupid. I'm not even joking.
You know what?
My hair looks stupid. That's why I'm wearing a hat. God damn it.
Bringing haircuts and YouTube channels growth back together. That is important. Being clean. I'm not like my hair and my beard need to be trimmed because I don't like watching people with big nasty fucking beards. Now I'm doing a pirate thing here, so it kind of works, but I don't wear my pirate hat.
It works with the colors, man. I mean, it's not like you look like Pod Awful with that fake nasty ass beard.
But I need to like clean up a bit because you want to be a little bit. You don't want to be like nasty looking on.
Yeah. You guys have full thick beards. Pod Awful has this nasty stringy that you only see on people that live in trash cans kind of beard. You know, that Oscar the Grouch kind of.
Yeah, those guys with those big bushy beards that go down, you know, or those straight long beards that go way down. It's like, yeah, I don't know about that. I'd keep it. I kind of want to keep it clean and trim this. I need to trim this sucker up, man.
Like, I was. Nick, I was very worried starting my own channel, which is why I reached out. Like, I became friends with Peter off of Dojo Coon's channel, okay? And me and him went back and forth when we were.
They always put us against each other. You notice that?
Yeah.
They always did that to us.
Yeah, because they knew that we would overtake everything.
So I was like, I know Jake's going to do this. I know he's going to do that. They're going to put me in the bad guy side. They did that every fucking time. Jake's going to be on the good guy side. So I've got to
to be on that side. You were loving it.
I was like, I've got to make the bad guy side appealing, more appealing than Jake's side.
Well, see, Peter is a contrarian by heart.
Yeah, he is.
I don't think that, but okay.
Of course you don't.
Yeah. So
now, if we're talking about like videos, not live streams I could put on the camera and try to. Well, I still have difficulty trying to find. Like, I have a PC, and I draw mostly on my Apple tablet, and I'm trying to figure out an app that will allow me to stream off of my Apple tablet onto my PC. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's rough. I don't know what program you would use for that. There's one that exists. I don't know what it is.
It's going to be like a drawing program where you turn the tablet into a drawing pad, and then you're going to.
Well, no, look at it this way.
Without getting an overhead camera.
No.
Which can be
Pro Artist Secrets. He had another channel called All Caps Comics or something, right? And back when he would talk about,
that was on his channel, Comic Artist Pro Secrets. It's the same channel.
He had two channels. There's one that I still follow I'm subscribed to that he doesn't use anymore. And on that channel, he would have his camera set up to where it's just his hand, his
tablet,
his stylus, and focused on his iPad. And he would either be drawing on it or going through the news section on something he wanted to talk about, Star Wars, and people would tune in just to that. Because I'm going to sound like Michael Oden. At the end of the day, you are going to, it's going to be all about you being personable. People, like Stanley said, genuine. And so as long as you're just speaking to people from a good place and you're being honest about your points of view and you're just, having fun doing your own thing, people will tune in. It might not bring the numbers automatically, but as you get more comfortable talking on screen, as you get more comfortable maneuvering your way on whatever you're focusing on, creating, all of this back here becomes secondary. Because as soon as you're done with this, it's done.
Yep.
This is where it matters. And this is where people are going to connect with you.
Yep. Totally 100% agree with that.
How are you going to go viral without any haters?
Yeah, that's true. But anyhow, I was thinking for my first video when I was talking about what if mutants were in the real world? How would they be just as much as haters in the comics, or would there be some that obviously there would be some haters, but
the comics never show super fans. There'd be a lot of super fans. The comics always showed it and haters.
Yeah, I would think there would be both. Not just straight up every human's a hater. I always find that unrealistic in X-Men comics. How come every human hates mutants?
Name a class that doesn't
they either hate them or they're indifferent, but there's never any oh my god, I love all your mutants and your superpowers. Where are those people? I think there'd be a lot more of them.
Name a class where you've never met prejudice. Go ahead. I'll wait.
Save me, Superman!
In today's day and age, look at it. One of the big things that we are all having to face right now is this whole woke cancer culture, crap. And I mean, this is just another mutants is just another bandwagon. They probably would have, some strange designations on how they would do their names and stuff like that. To have an inclusive group that they could make
their superhero name would be the pronouns thing.
I also thought the left would hate mutants because they feel uncomfortable with guns in school.
Just they like to
someone who had the power to blow up.
I love that point of view. I love that perspective.
Yeah. Just imagine someone who blew up a school with their powers. Enter this school. What would you do? It would be the natural response to be can we just mute your powers a bit? Can we put on a collar or sedate your powers a bit? But mutants and comics are no, I'm mutant and proud, and I'm that's a little reckless. Even if you're trying to live a normal life, and I get you want to express yourself, you want to have your powers, but I don't know, there has to be you have to think about the safety of the others in case
there are always going to be contingencies against people that you think will threaten you sooner or later.
And there's also an accountability. Okay, let's say all mutants decides to turn against humanity. Who's going to hold them accountable for that? That's another thing. All these different things. But back to the video, perspective. I'm thinking about this, and I'm still learning how to draw. I don't know what to put in front of it while I'm talking. Do I just show my face while I'm talking about this, or should I just try to draw something? Or
you can do
experiment and see what works for you. Yeah. Don't think that there is a thing that, with the actual content that you make. There's a ton of different things that you can do to get in front of eyes. There's things that you can do to help get the algorithm to put you in the right perspective. And I hate that term. There's no such thing as the algorithm, but for that the purpose of that conversation, don't think that is what's necessary. There's things you can do with that to get in front of people. That's fine. but as don't try to like wrap your content around an algorithm. Don't try to do things just because one thing works and one thing doesn't. The most successful channels in the world are the ones who did things that, didn't exist. Odds won out. That stuff didn't exist until he did it. Dude Perfect. Nobody thought that there was like a value in having an entire YouTube channel, an entire company dedicated to trick shots until Dude Perfect did it. Who that guy that did the
that was a weird
the
thing.
animal mounts.
Animal
Chuck
mounts?
Testa. Yeah, Chuck Testa. Nope, it's Chuck Testa.
Oh yeah, I know
Nobody
Chuck
thought
Testa.
that was a thing until it was a thing.
That's true. You could literally make a thing about anything.
I guess
Yeah.
I can just make a YouTube channel just about me talking about random ideas, or just make shorts. Even if my drawing sucks, I try to. I want to say it. I'm thinking. I know there's this feature on Procreate where it shows your drawing process. I can upload that as a video, as a visual, and in the background or the voiceover, it's just me telling the story of what's going on in the picture.
I think Corey's got a good idea. The most successful ones are the fake AI anime women accounts. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do an
Make sure you
avatar
use Scarlett Johansson.
of like a super sexy anime girl, but I'm not going to change the voice. I'm going to be like Mr. Dr. Girlfriend.
Yeah, Dr. Girlfriend.
I'm going to have to do like a change it like.
Oh god. You gotta have an accent though.
guys.
You don't have an accent. Like at least you had the Jersey
I can
accent.
do
That was
it.
kind of hot.
Let me
I
ask,
don't know,
let me
you
ask Nick
guys.
this. Let me ask Nick.
Maybe like
What are your favorite channels that you watch that do the kind of thing that you want to do?
Oh, that's a good point.
What I want to do, I want to do just tell stories or say what's on my mind. Okay, like I don't really, but really the most videos I subscribe to are either reaction videos or like just watching old cartoons I used to watch, and I'm like, oh, I'm curious how this person would think of this.
Oh, yeah.
And then, but most videos I watch are like topics on like just like on cartoons, on comics, on movies that like, oh, what if this happened in this movie, or why did the villain do this in that movie? Like stuff like that.
Yeah,
So-
that'd be great to have somebody on, and you can do now. A live stream would be great, especially when there's a chat. Like we got Corey and you, for example. Like in the chat, we're all talking. It contributes to the show. But you don't even have to do that. You can do a pre-recorded thing where you can have. I think StreamYards even does that.
Yeah,
It's an idea, at least, if you wanted to be able to add extra shit into it to make it like I've always thought about taking these live streams, chopping them up like Joe Rogan would do for his clips, but then adding extra content in there. Like
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's not something you see. Like enough people don't do that kind of stuff.
there's a guy I used to watch religiously is Pay Money Wubby. He especially during the pandemic, that dude was hilarious, and he would do these like 6 to 8 hour live streams. I don't know how he has the energy. This guy would be hyped like he was on drugs, but I don't think he was. I think he's just ADD or ADHD, and he would just be hyped for 8 hours, going crazy. That 3 days a week. Oh man, that dude would have 10,000 people watching him, and rightly so. I couldn't keep like my energy up that long.
I will
And
say I want to address Corey Barton. The only people that do hate me are actually people from video games. Like I'm trying to play video games less, and I didn't realize how bad it was until I played Marvel Rivals. You know Marvel Rivals?
yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, the people that hate me are just because I wasn't getting enough kills.
That's games though. Did you ever play Modern
Yeah.
Warfare? Me and
No,
Stanley
like,
used to
don't
play
worry.
Modern Warfare, and it's like
I
the
know
little
that
fucking
I know
kid.
there's like trash talking, but I also like seriously like I think these guys literally want me dead. Like
These
because,
guys. Stanley? Which one was it? Was it a Black Ops that I had that Venom thing? They gave you the option to make your own icon with all these shapes.
Yeah,
So I would
yeah.
make all these
Black Ops
shapes.
2. I had one.
And so I had one where I made it look like a comic
Yeah,
book
I remember
copy of Venom, and it looked badass. And everybody wanted to know how I did it, and they always hated me and they'd attack me because they They hated the fact that my logo was badass, and like I never saw that.
Here's something that I noticed when you said it. It made something go off for me. So, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 was coming out, right? Big hype around it. Von Coleman jumped on that train for Sonic, right? He started playing the video games again. He was playing the Nintendo Switch that had the big collection on it. And he decided to do live streams of him playing like the old Sonic games, right? So I tuned in for those.
I never tuned into those.
He kept dying or getting stuck somewhere or just not being able to get up on the next, like, level or whatever, on the next shelf, whatever you want to call it. And I was roasting his ass, but I was also laughing my ass off at the same time because he was making it enjoyable. So
that's true. If you suck at something,
you can't take people shitting on you as personal, because some of them might be laughing their asses off having a good time with you.
That's what I was trying to do. Like I was planning on doing when I play video games. But again, like I can tell, like when someone's I can tell the difference between when someone's roasting me and someone's like, oh my gosh, this guy's unhinged. Like he actually,
you make it light of it, make it fun.
You need to ban somebody who does that. Period. Barn, just get rid of them. They're viewed not worth it. But you are going to come across that, and you got to have thick skin on that because it is absolutely going to happen. But also, you haven't made it. Like on the other side of the coin, you have not made it unless that happens. Not to mention,
I wouldn't ban them if they're just hating, unless they're saying shit.
Get rid of them.
No, if they're no, screw that. That's stupid advice. Unless they're saying shit that's going to get your channel in trouble, let them talk. Who cares? Just ignore.
No. It's personal. Like if it affects you in any way, like fuck the algorithm, fuck whatever. Like the metrics, the watch time, and the views, and screw all of that stuff. Yeah. If it affects you in the absolute least, you don't deserve that. Be the boss that you deserve, and can that dude.
Well, no, I disagree with it.
In video games, I would just mute them. I would just mute them.
You can do that, or you can turn it into fuel for yourself. Like
that's what I would do.
I like that. That's what I would do. Yeah.
You just talked about banning them.
Talk shit back.
Yeah, I highly support that. I've never needed that. I don't have that. Like I have dealt with people who do that. Like people, we do snapper fishing, and snapper is a highly regulated species. And people will tell me 3 years down the road, I wasn't catching this like fish in the right time of the season. I'm like, dude, this was a video from 3 years ago. To me personally, like that doesn't hurt my feelings, it doesn't get to me. However, if they get under my skin, I am not going to force myself to go through that. I haven't had that issue, but you're damn right that I have no problems. Just like, gone.
Bullshit. I call bullshit. I'm in your live stream almost every week, and you never ban me once, and I do nothing but talk shit in there.
You keep coming. I don't know how you get past the filters.
Well, I'm good like that, and I know how to work a computer.
Johnny Grant, boomers. That's why.
So,
and Monica, you're awesome, by the way.
So
I was in Monica.
We have conflicting views on how to handle shit. So you just got to do whatever makes you feel that you can do what you need to do.
YouTube,
don't think you got to
have thicker skin because I can be like, okay, this guy's dumb. I can just ignore him.
Get Corey Barton in there as a mod. He'll do all the banning.
That's some good advice. Like, let him handle it. I agree with that.
Well, I will say,
unfortunately, I don't have anybody in my chat for him to ban, so he's got an easy job here.
I might mute someone or ban someone. But when it comes to YouTube, I want the feedback. But I will feel I have the discernment of, okay, are you being a dipshit or are you just actually trying to help?
Yeah. So like I said at the beginning of this stream, like you can take whatever advice anybody has and throw that right the fuck out the window. If you want like actionable advice, come to people like you come to anybody here. Anybody here is going to give you like unfiltered, critical advice, and that's good. There are going to be people who leave comments and leave chats, and they're going to have things to say, but they're also the squeaky wheel. And it is very often that they have advice that speaks to them and nobody else. Yeah. So be careful. You got to take that kind of advice with a grain of salt.
There's something to be said about the idea that all the advice you can get are based off the most successful channels, and there are new ones all the time. And who did they base their channels off of?
Yeah.
Right? There's
Yeah.
a certain point where it's like you're making it a new thing, and so there is no advice really. There's things to understand about YouTube, but then there are things that are like understanding how YouTube works, understanding what's important to focus on, and everything. That's all fine. That's stuff you need to know.
Also
But-
understand, Nick, 147 subscribers,
Yeah, that's right.
100 subscribers. Stanley, what you got?
He's got like over.
I'm at 6,000, and I just got
Alright.
fired from a channel with 800,000.
Who in this little band camp are you going to listen to?
That's why it
But
says
no,
in
but
the
I
title.
don't agree with
Bro,
Jake. I appreciate it. I love you, man. I appreciate it. But I'm the first one to say subscriber counts. That doesn't matter. Like I don't take that as a metric that holds volume.
That's another thing, because I've looked at YouTube videos to be like, hey, tell me what's going on, how to get there, what do you do? And you'll see conflicting YouTube videos saying, hey, they say do it this way. I didn't have to do it this way.
You gotta
I
be
did it
careful about that
way."
stuff.
And then those people will be like, well, I didn't do it this way or that way. I did my own way, and this is how I did.
Oh,
And
yeah,
another
those
thing-
channels where they're like, I started a new channel and got 100,000 subscribers in 6 months. Just
What happens
No.
all the time,
Don't watch
I'm sorry
those
to
at
like
all.
bag on this one and to pile on, but another one that I see all the time that drives me up a wall is you will have a channel. It happens every single day where somebody has a channel where they made a video and that video popped. You know, that video worked.
Yeah.
It did good. It propelled their channel to
Like Deadpool
insane
was
heights.
like that.
And the first thing they do is they start offering like YouTube guru strategy services. And it's like, you got one video that popped. That doesn't mean you know what's going on. That means that you got, in some cases you got lucky. And sometimes you knew enough to be able to make one pop, but that doesn't mean you know how to apply this to somebody else's thing.
And the reason I got Stanley in here is because he used to work for TubeBuddy, and that's kind of his thing, is growing channels. And
I've worked with a lot of channels.
That's what he does.
I did that for a living for 6 years.
So it's like
Screw numbers. That's what I'm going to stand on. Like, screw numbers. That doesn't mean anything to me. Subscriber
Yeah.
counts are a vanity metric. Screw all that.
Now, there was
my
another
thing that
thing-
I would stand on is that, like, I've got years in the industry.
And this is why I'm glad we have Peter here, because Stanley here, because I'm going to ask him right now. I'm going to share this real quick. Now,
Go
look,
ahead.
I've been looking
What
at
you
some of these videos. This is the kind of videos that I've been looking at. Stanley, what do you think about these kind of videos that say how to get more views on YouTube, and it says stop choosing public? Or this one down here that says, where is it? Turn off whatever this is. No views, no subscribers. Turn this off now. What do you think of crap like that?
I cannot see the screen. Now, hold on. Give me a second. Give me a second on this. I can't see
Okay.
the screen. All I can see is a little bit of a thumbnail. So I don't know who we are talking about. And that's kind of the problem, is because there are strategy guys out there who know their stuff. They know what they're talking about. That guy who told me to triple down on his content, as much as I'm going to like talk trash about that dude knows his stuff. There are guys out there who are actually genuinely and authentically helping people. And then there are people who got a one-off hit. There are people who literally went out and bought 1 million subscribers for their channel simply so that they can sell their webinar coaching series. And you can't tell the difference. I can't tell the difference by looking at that guy. Like, looking at all those thumbnails and all those things. Yeah, sure, maybe turn off that thing, and maybe that's going to help, and maybe do this, and maybe that's going to help. You can't tell just by looking at a thumbnail or a title. You have to actually like do some backstory stuff on these guys. Now,
hold on.
I'll
Yes,
tell
you
I
can.
will tell you right now, fuck every single guy you looked at, Jake, because they're all wrong.
Yeah, no,
I'll tell
those
you
are
that
all
right now, right off
bullshit.
that. Fuck all of them.
Now, but there
are people
there
who take it a
is-
lot.
Yeah, but there's one way you can tell, and Corey just called it out right here. You put a hot babe in the thumbnail.
Oh my God.
That'll grow your channel. That clickbait shit works every single time.
Clickbait is a sliding scale. There's no such thing as like clickbait. It's not binary. It's not clickbait or not. Clickbait is over here is a lie, and over here is absolutely not interesting. And there's a scale of like you have to make it topically interesting, but at the same time it can't be a lie. So the
Now, hold on.
clickbait thing, it falls somewhere in the middle here. You want to fall somewhere to where it's exposition for the video, but also at the same time, it's not a lie.
Now, I got a question for Nick.
Yeah.
Because then we're over here rambling and talking. I know you came in and like
We
joined
do
the
that.
conversation.
You walked right into this. Sorry, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got any questions? You got any questions or anything?
Well,
Fire.
I am writing a comic, and I'm still needing advice on financial stuff. Like, I just convinced my parents to give me an allowance while I'm going to college. Finally, so I'm like, so they decided to like, hey, you're going to get $100 a week, which is fine. And until you get a job after college, we're going to keep doing this. And I decided to save 75 of those dollars to my comic, and then 25 for whatever else. So
Yep.
and I did the math. Like, okay, if I wait until get a job in the middle of summer, or just and I just don't go back to school. For now, like, I just wait until I get this comic done, and I try to draw, trying to practice, hone my skills, trying to draw the comic myself. I ask myself, what would be faster if I learned how to draw myself or earn enough money to hire an artist?
Well, first of all, there's a couple things to break down here.
Yep.
Don't, if you have not, okay, how do you put this?
What are you
Do
going
not
to
give up your
in
day
school?
job.
What are you focusing on in school?
Right now I'm learning about video game design.
Focus on that. Like,
Yeah.
do not give that up. Don't make anything,
Yeah,
let anything get in the way of that. Comic books, they start off as a hobby, unless you are working for the mainstream. Like, that's a hobby until it's not a hobby, basically.
Yeah.
Right?
And
Focus on your career. I can't quit my job, and I'm a really good artist and an okay writer. I don't have the time to be working on my comic book, which I think would do well, because I have to have a job in order to like live, do that, and then use your time to. And now I have been spending years and all my extra time, like gaining skills and honing my skills in that same regard, and I've been working towards putting this thing together. But that career, the job, and all that kind of stuff, if you don't put all your eggs in the one basket, which is the comic book,
All right.
you know what I'm saying? Focus on the
Here's a
school.
different. I'll give you a different perspective on exactly what he was saying. The millionaire mindset. Nobody becomes a millionaire by working a job. Like, I don't care what job you get,
True.
you're not going to work a job that's going to make you a millionaire. What makes you a millionaire is having multiple income sources. So that's exactly what you're working on. Keep doing video game design. That needs to be a primary source of income for probably like a large portion of your life. Like honestly, like that's the thing you're focused on. That's going to be where the primary income is going to be coming from. But what you are working on are alternative forms of income. And you've got, the comic book is going to be another one. Now, when that thing takes off and it becomes primary, this is a different conversation, but it's not a different conversation until that happens. So you focus on that being you keep putting in your work. It's still a discipline. It's not even a hobby. It's a discipline. You keep putting in work on that, but it's putting in work on that as a secondary form of income. YouTube is the exact same thing. That is a tertiary. It's a third form of income. Right. Typically, the average millionaire has 7 forms of income.
Yeah,
so
basically
you're working on like a couple of those.
So is that 7 jobs? Is what that means?
It's not necessarily jobs, because you can't work 7 jobs. There's 168 hours in the week. But there's
if
you have a product that you sell and you let YouTube sell it. It's what is that called? Income that you make while you're sleeping. I forget what it's called. But like, some of those forms of income, passive. In order to have 7 revenue sources, you have to have multiple passive forms of income. So selling a comic book, once the work is done on that and it starts selling itself, that becomes passive. YouTube, once you have a library of videos and you start getting a bunch of views on those, that becomes a little bit more passive. It's still active in that you probably have to do some live streams. You have to continue putting out content. but you like, you want to become a millionaire. Maybe you don't need to be a millionaire. Maybe you want to make 200,000 a year. You do that by creating 4 revenue sources.
My dream is like to make these stories for my I don't care if it's a comic or whatever. I just want to tell these stories that are in my head.
Have you written them down? Like write them down.
I have. It's just I feel like they're very visually heavy. It's like, and I'm trying to find some skill I can fit, or either work on my skill to make the visuals myself, or get enough money to hire someone with those skills. I'm still deciding. Like,
well, there's nothing wrong with like trying to learn how to draw and do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because look, I'll be real with you. $75 a week for a comic book, now, depending on how many pages you do, you're not going to be getting substantial art from any artist for $75. So definitely work on your
$75 a page.
Work on your art craft, because if you're in graphic design, you're going to be working on that anyway. So
that's true.
I would definitely be working on that. But if you want to make something small that doesn't, look like something that would be up on the shelves with other comics, just like something to like hand out or something small like that, throw that out there. Show people your ability to tell stories, and then the art can come secondary. You're just showing people what you have up in here right now. You're just showing what you're trying to create. Like Peter, you made a indie comic with just like regular paper, didn't you?
That was 11 by 17 printer paper.
Okay. Still, you made a comic book.
I made a comic book, and then that was that's another reason why I want to do a whole thing on how to make comics from the ground up, and then the chat will learn with me when it comes to like doing it more and more professionally. But the first comic I did, I thought everything was done with Sharpies and like white paint and shit. So I was drawing on regular 11 by 17 paper, but it wasn't Bristol board. I didn't know about Bristol board. So I'm like using ink, not ink. I'm using Sharpies because I saw a picture of Jim Lee drawing with a Sharpie. Now this was like 20 years ago, right? So the internet wasn't like, all the information out there wasn't readily available 20 years ago on the internet as it is today. So like, I see a picture of Jim Lee drawn with comics with a Sharpie. So I'm like, I got to draw with a Sharpie. Well, there's areas of huge black, like I got to fill in the whole page with black or something. So I'm like, well, this Sharpie leaves a weird sheen when I photocopy it. So I got to use black paint or something. I'm like learning, but I want to do this splatter, but I don't want to ink the Sharpie. You can't get real Sharpie bleeds, right? And so it fills especially printer paper. You'd put a tiny dot of a Sharpie, and it spreads. So I'm like working with all this, and then I have to start using white paint. But then the white paint starts mixing with the Sharpie, and then I got to use more. So there's like, what's the perfect paint? Is gesso better? And then I'm messing with all this. Is like an art mess, right? Dealing with all this shit. Then I had to figure out how to photocopy the damn thing because I didn't have the printers and shit readily available locally back then. I did eventually, but this first one, I'm like, okay, I had access to a copy machine. Nowadays, everybody rents copy machines, so it's a little different. But back then, I had to I had to shrink it down onto a page, shrink every page, and then make the double page, and then take all those prints, put all that print in the tray. But I had to make sure that when I printed it printed on the opposite side and not upside down. I ended up printing all these ash cans by hand on a photocopy machine late at night at work when nobody else was around. And I knew they were going to notice the paper, so I started buying paper so I could practice. And I finally got it down, and I printed a whole bunch of these ash cans, and it started kind of getting better and better at it. It was like, I don't even know if you can do that anymore because everybody rents copy machines. Nobody owns anything anymore. So everything is kept. They keep track of every copy. They keep track of. Anyways,
one of the things that I would like to speak to this point on what he's talking about, and I think it's an important
I'd
one
be
to
up
learn.
to like 3 a.m. playing with this shit up there.
They're going, like, being your first comic book, there are going to be lessons learned along the way. Like, you're going to figure some things out. You can spend a bunch of money to learn these lessons, or you can do it yourself and learn more lessons and be a better creator on the second one. Personally, I like the guerrilla style. Like, I like the guerrilla approach. Learn your lessons, dude. Like, it's going to happen either way. You're not going to pay your way out of learning lessons. Learn them now. Do it the right way. Like do the artwork. It doesn't have to be the most perfect thing ever. Do the artwork, put in your time, learn your lessons, and then when you come out on that second book, you can always do a reprint later. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But that second book, dude, that thing's going to be so much better after you go through the trials and tribulations of that first one. And FYI, Peter, just so you know, I'm at 5%. So if I just disappear,
real quick, I got caught up because I'm sorry, Corey. We were talking and I was not paying attention. He's got this link to howtodrawcomicsacademy.com. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I subscribed to it. I just didn't have the money. What was it? $20 a month now? Is it $20 a month or is it 25?
Oh, is that Corey's website?
Yeah, I subscribed to it, and I just remember I ran out of money, and I
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Then there's practice watching videos.
But now that I got allowance, I can sacrifice $20. If I stop saving 75 for like hiring an artist, I can just screw it. I'll just pay $20. Do it myself.
Screw that, man. Better investment. Get I would say get a job and like start saving up hundreds of dollars. That was a mistake I made when I had my parents helping me back in college. I wasn't taking advantage of that opportunity. I was like playing around. So I got a job, but it wasn't to save up money for a future. That's shit that I'm doing now. I was like, I played around too much. If I go back, I would have that job, use the money my parents were helping me out with for the reason they were helping me out with, and I would use the job to focus on everything else and screw playing around. I'm not sure how much partying you do, but I used to. I'm still partying.
Yeah. So the thing I created my first comic back in 2021. Well, 2018 technically, but that was an anthology with a bunch of people. So anyway, I'll go off the anthology. So my first creation was a 7-page short story in an anthology, right? And I paid $100 per page to just make those 7 pages. And for cover art, I paid $150. Okay, so that's $850. That's $850 for just 7 pages in a color. It stacks up quick if you're paying somebody. And I got lucky because he was able to do the inks and the colors. I got very lucky in that situation. Not everybody's going to be able to do that for you on that kind of budget. Yeah. What I did is I went to Facebook and I got into almost all of the comic artist groups or comic creators groups, because you're going to be collaborating if you're going to be getting an artist. Yeah. And I put out what budget I had for how many pages I needed done. And I didn't even sit there to negotiate with people. I said, this is my budget. I can't budge. If you can do it, come at me. Plethora of people just came out. Even ones that said that they would do it for a higher price when I tried to talk to them as an individual. As soon as I posted my budget and what I was doing and gave them my story and showed them a cover piece that I had already made, people started flooding in because they were like, oh, this dude's serious. He's got a story, he's got a cover art, and he's getting ready to do an Indiegogo campaign. If people see you putting effort in first before you just go out there and be like, hey, can you do this for me? No, make them come to you. Get in those Facebook groups of indie comic artists and just say, budget, title, pages, here's what it is. This is the kind of art I'm looking for. And just watch them come in. They'll come in groves, I guarantee you. And then you can pick out which one has the nicer art that would work for you. Because you're going to get crap art and you're going to get good art. If you want fantastic art, you got to go to Peter.
Wait, you're an artist? I thought you were a writer.
Yeah. I'm an artist, and I'm learning how to write. I spend my extra time practicing writing and learning about how to write and, all that kind of stuff. Like, I've always been an okay artist, but for the past 10 years, I have been like really hitting it hard every day. No more video games, no more TV, no more nonsense. I've been trying to get to be. I want to be the best.
Here's how good he is, Nick. He's offered to help me out with stuff, and I told him I'm not letting him do anything unless I can pay him because he fucking deserves it.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, my apologies. I completely agree with this and everything. Peter's absolutely amazing artist, one of the best that I've personally seen. That's not even a brother thing. I'm afraid I've got to get out of here. My battery's going to die at like any second now.
All right, real quick before you go, most important, advice, people. What do you got to sell somebody to help their channel get better? We talked about a lot.
The most important thing, like if you're going to focus on one thing above all else, the thing that you need to worry about is simply creating value for that person on the other side of the screen. Focus on that person. You're making content not for you. You're making it for that other human being that you're trying to speak to. Make it valuable for them, and you're good to go. Everything else will follow.
I thought you were going to say the most important thing you need to know is, and then like leave.
No, I thought you were going to shut me off. So I was waiting for it. I was drawing it out.
Oh no. We'll go for a couple
I'm going to get out of here, though, guys.
All right, man. Well, thanks for jumping in. That was awesome.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Talking about it. Anybody wants to go check out Stanley Orchard's channel? It's awesome. He does the hunting and fishing stuff, but he's also got another channel that he's been working on about growing YouTube, using all the knowledge and everything he's learned over the years working for TubeBuddy and helping people grow their channels. Like I think he's done stuff with Mr. Beast.
Yeah, that was called what? YT Mobile.
YT Mobile. Yeah. He's starting to get now that he's kind of venturing out into the world a little bit, that channel I think is going to start growing. He's got a book in the works that's coming out soon, and it's all about how to grow your YouTube channel. So I'm glad that he could talk about that because I've been wanting to talk about that on this.
Oh, most definitely.
Corey's in here. All right, now that Paul's not here, Stanley talking. Do a fake anime woman. I can look at your chats now, Corey. I'm sorry he was, taking so much time. Do a fake anime woman YouTube channel with an AI voice. That's or an OnlyFans.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like it's for.
Yeah, OnlyFans. You make $5 with an OnlyFans.
Although I don't know how my parents would feel about that.
They don't have to know, man. Yeah, what they don't know won't hurt them. Thanks for the $75. This is going to my waifu, who has an OnlyFans.
Oh man!
But I do like the idea I had where I'm like, I could tell stories that are like I can come up with more and more ideas than just my dream stories. Like I can come up with a story like that, and I'd be like, I can just draw and just show the art, like what I say on Procreate, you can show the progress of your drawing / painting, and I'll just show that, and then I tell the story of what's going on in this page. Like, for an example, if there's an alligator pirate, I'm going to tell the story of that alligator pirate while you're seeing me drawing that in Procreate.
Are you talking about doing like a channel like that?
Yeah, as a YouTube channel, like just telling stories.
So what kind of channels do you watch right now? We were talking, I know we've dropped some names. Who are you familiar with in this this sphere?
YouTube or just this side of YouTube?
Well, the comic books. I'm a Comics Gate guy, and I like promoting all of them, and even people who don't want to call themselves Comics Gate anymore. To me, they're still Comicsgate. That's old school.
Well,
They're still under the same umbrella. I don't care that you broke off into your own faction. You still know the same people you met in Comicsgate.
Yeah.
To me, they're all still
Comicsgate.
Well, I got Death Metal Hero, John Lombok, Silverline Comics, J-Bot, Unhinged, Bionic Bro.
Yeah. Okay, I know J-Bot, Bionic Bro, Longbox.
That's a great channel.
Yeah.
Levi Skeen, Michael Bancroft, The Dawn.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
dude,
so you're
gold.
you're in there. Yeah.
Yeah, you're gold, dude. You're golden.
Yep.
Yeah, and those are like talking about, and then
And you get the crack pack on your side. You get.
Do you think I should just stick with this channel, or do I just stick with the channel I want to do? Like, if I were to have a main channel, I would just stick to our Luniverse, which is my channel.
I mean, I think you've already got your channel
that you want to grow. Everything else will fall behind.
What's a Bancroft? Well, once upon a time, there was this magical land called Australia. And there's a man there he drinks a beer called VB. And there's a weird ice cream dipped in nuts and nuggets. And and then there's a man named the Bancroft.
Who looks like a gay pirate.
Yeah, he does look like
in that intro where he's rolling on the roller skates and he has that bar.
Yeah, his intros are funny.
You look like a gay pirate.
He's a mad lad. It's Australia. You know how the English, they're always like aluminum. You know, they're like the aluminum. They're so fucking pretentious. Well, that's how you pronounce it. Australia.
I thought it was Australia.
And that's why and Bancroft knows why, because he's moving in on our territory. You see, me and Jake's got a thing here. It's like gangsters. And Bancroft thought he was going to just move on in here like a bloody wallaby. And I ain't having it. No. That ain't how it works around here. So we had to put Bancroft in his place.
Yeah.
We had to say, bro, this is our shit. This is our territory. You fucking stay over there in the fucking northern territory. We'll stay down here. Or it's going to be like a funnel web spider.
He won't talk to us anymore.
That's right. He won't talk to us anymore.
No,
We're
I
like
did
a
have
funnel web
another
spider.
idea. I have another idea. Like, okay, like let's say.
Hold on, Corey lives in Australia? I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Corey. I didn't mean to talk
yeah,
shit
he
about
does.
Australia, man.
Yeah,
Australia's
he can go his baby and everything.
only the Bancroft part of Australia is called Australia.
But anyhow, I thought of an idea like for a video idea, like if I were in charge of like let's say Marvel, like the MCU or DCU, what would I do? I don't know if I can get away with. Well, if I were to tell a Superman story, here's exactly what that would sound like in like me storytelling form. I don't know if that would be like considered copyrighted. Like I would get sued if that video does well. Like, hey, I decided to write my own Batman script and I'm sharing that script with you.
Like a fan fiction. Oh man. You know what? Okay. Got a lot to say about that. There are a lot of people doing fan fiction, but instead of doing just a Batman script, they're like, I'm gonna do the cave dweller. He's a crime detective, and he's and it's like, okay, it's Batman. You know what I mean? It's the Horseman, Batman.
See, here's the thing about fan fiction. It can turn into theft real quick if you're using likenesses and everything. Like for me, Team 4 Star is the perfect example. Started off as a parody, and then when they started getting real big, they're like, we're gonna rewrite this shit and it's gonna be better. Well, when you walked away from the parody and just started rehashing the same events just with different words, not even necessarily editing stuff out and making your own flow of the story, guess what? They got shut down. They were told to quit.
Well, here's the thing. Also, this is how I kind of look at it. If you're writing fan fiction, you've got great ideas. Why not turn those ideas into your own IPs and not like rip-offs or fan fiction?
All you're doing is putting DLC on those characters. You're putting your own DLC on them, your own design. That's it.
So check it out.
Got a great idea for Batman.
Let's say you got an idea for Batman, and you're like, okay, so he's like, we know who Batman is, and so this is a Batman adventure. Now, instead of doing Batman, don't do the cave dweller. Don't do anything like that. Just do like, well, here's an example: Private Eye. Let's go Sherlock Holmes. Just throwing shit out, see if what sticks, right? Private Eye, the Sherlock Holmes, and he's going on your Batman adventure. Now, if it requires everything that is Batman to go on this adventure, like he needs the Bat belt and he needs all the Bat tools and gadgets, and well, you can either try to convert every single one of those into a Sherlock Holmes thing, or you're like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like you have a Batman adventure, turn that into a unique original idea instead of the Batman trope.
That what you're just saying, because I was just an idea, like just a fun idea, like like if I was in charge of the MCU, I would do this and that. But if I were to go deeper into that, it would be infringe of like not just fan fiction, but kind of like what you just said with Team 4-Star.
Hey, if it's a cool thing, write something cool with it. You know what I mean?
But in my story, it's the closest thing to Batman. Like, can I talk about my comic ideas?
Sure, let's hear it.
I mean, you can, but whether people steal them or not is going to be totally on,
Yeah, but nobody watches my channel except for the ass.
You know what? Since you said that, I won't say it. I won't say anything. You said
no. To be fair, I am honest, right? Now, sometimes people think I'm being an ass, and I'm not trying to be an ass, but I am honest, and sometimes maybe blatant honest. I try to be PC, so I'm looked at stuff, and I'm all down. I'm all about like trying to be like, let's take this idea. This is a cool idea. Let's do this. Like, let's. Have you thought of this? Like, let's say you're telling me about a Batman idea, and I'm like, man, fuck doing a Batman ripoff. Let's do something completely original. What's something that you like? It's like cyberpunk or whatever. Like, don't make it a Batman ripoff. If you have a Harley Quinn in there and a Joker, well, just tweak them, change them into something else. What is the equivalent of a Joker? Well, there's some jackass that you meet at a bar or you watch on YouTube. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be a YouTuber. It's the Joker. It's the same. You make equivalencies.
I will say I don't know, like, I really want to talk about my stories, but again, he bring up a good point. I don't want anyone to steal them. I'll just tell them when I bring them up on my channel, like,
you know what, and that's totally fair. Yeah. And I've got the same thing. I've had several ideas I've talked about with friends over the years. I haven't put any of them out there, and I don't even post pictures or artwork, and I draw a shitload of this stuff. I've never put a picture of any of these ideas out there except for maybe one or two. Like Chicken Man, I haven't done Chicken Man, but that's a good idea. The Rooster Man or Cock Man, Mr. Cock.
In Chicken Man on Family Guy?
Oh, that Chicken Man is the guy in the suit, right? The chicken suit?
Yeah.
No, I thought he was just a giant chicken. I didn't think he was in a suit.
Why doesn't Mr. Cock exist? Is a Mr. Cock out there? There's got to be a Mr. Cock.
See, I thought about making a character that was a huge crocodile, but I was like, man, that's going to be too similar to Killer Croc. But I had the perfect name for him. His name was going to be Croc Diesel.
Sorry.
Croc Diesel sounds kind of cool.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have to be. Here's the thing. He didn't have to be. Here's where I'm going.
He's just this big, swollen gym bro, like Cock Diesel, but he's a crocodile.
But he doesn't need to be a crocodile. You can literally do like anything, and people are like a lizard, any kind of lizard, and you just say Croc Diesel, and it's like it didn't have to be a crocodile. It could be a fence lizard that was like fucking mutated by nuclear radiation or some shit. or a racing lizard, or one of those flared, those frilled neck whatever's.
Right, but the thing that keeps me from doing that character is that Killer Croc has had so many different designs throughout his use and so many different formats. Like, he looks different in the Batman the Animated Series. He looks different in the Arkham games.
Yeah, like the lizard
in the DCU animated movies. So with each iteration, it makes it less to where I just feel comfortable doing this character.
Fuck, do this. Call it Croc Diesel, and then make him a fucking wombat. Just something completely off the wall. Make him made out of mud. It doesn't matter. Croc Diesel sounds cool. It didn't have to be
that's Clayface.
No, right. Make him out of concrete then.
Croc Diesel. It's such a good name.
Yeah. But how does copyright work? Like, do you have to actually get forms to say, yeah, you can't take this character?
No, there's parody. If you have a character that's going to be pushing the line, there's arguments for parody.
Let's say I'm trying to make a character of my own. Like, I don't want anyone stealing it or taking my idea and then copyright me.
Oh, you probably want to start off with a trademark.
So,
how do you get a trademark?
You create.
I don't know, Jake. Actually, you probably know more about this than I do.
Trademarks and copyrights both have to be paid for. Trademarks are, I believe, cheaper. Trademarks look more like your logos and stuff like that. Things that would show off what your entity is going to be. So, like the bat signal, that is a trademark. The copyright is Batman, the character. But trademarks are like the S shield, the Batman logo, Spawn. That, I believe that's copyright. I think that's both trademark and
the
copyright.
Marvel logo.
Not only the title, it is also the character. So there's a lot in between there, but it costs more to copyright something than it does to trademark something else. So if you trademark your logo and stick that on one of your characters, technically you can say that this character is used under this trademark.
So let's say I make a character, a superhero, and I make my equivalent of, not actually Marvel, but like my equivalent of like a Marvel or DC logo on the art piece.
Yeah.
Would that be count as a trademark?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And I just have to pay for like forms to make sure that's a trademark? Or
yeah, it's not. I think trademarks are a couple hundred, where copyrights can be around 5,000.
Yeesh. Yeah, I would just do a trademark then.
So trademarks, it's going to be all about the logo or some individual, like this Rainforest Cafe. That right there, that emblem, that is a trademark. Okay. Rainforest Cafe itself, the title, the entity is copyright.
That duck to your right is a trademark.
There you go.
Well, hold on a minute. Trademark, I thought, was like the umbrella term that you can encompass many characters under.
Right. So it's like the logo, like the Marvel logo or something like that. The trademark, because, characters like Catwoman, Penguin, Batman, Robin, they all fall under the Batman logo, right? Nobody sees Nightwing's logo trademarked because Nightwing is too common a word.
Yeah. And now Australia, Corey's saying, has a Creative Commons law, and I've heard of that, but I don't know. That's not what we call it here, but we do have something similar. So if you post it first, people can't just steal your stuff. But the problem is that there are people that get a hold of something and then post it first. Like, let's say I'm showing Jake something, and he's like, oh, that's a good idea. I'm going to go take it, and he posts it first. Well, if I say had a sale attached to my idea first, he might actually be able to steal my idea. I think, isn't that how like PayPal got started, or isn't that Facebook? Like a lot of these things were stolen.
Check out how Eric July had to deal with the ISOM brand, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Was that copyright or trademark?
Well, they had the copyright, I think, because that was the copyright was talking about the title ISOM or whatever the word
acronym.
ISOM, the acronym.
Acronym, name, whatever.
Is it a name or is it an acronym?
Well, when it comes to
it's an acronym for the church and the business of the church. The name ISOM was confusing because the acronym and the name sounded the same, and then somebody went in there and fucked with Eric July and notified them, and that just became a thing.
Wait. So I'm still confused. What's an ISOM?
Well, ISOM is the International School of Ministry, which is a religious organization. Oh. Then there's ISOM, the comic book, which was titled after Eric July's great-great-grandfather or something.
Allegedly.
Oh.
And so ISOM, the comic book. You know what? If he hadn't had basically started shit, I don't think anything would have come of that.
No, nothing would have.
Now, granted, maybe because there's always going to be haters, so eventually that probably would have happened regardless. But he should have looked that up before titling his comic book ISOM.
Right. Like my first comic books are titled Cobalt.
Cobalt?
All right. Good luck copyrighting Cobalt because that is too
that'd be like titling something Milkshake. Like you can't copyright Milkshake.
The title Cobalt is not unique enough for anybody to copyright. Good fucking luck. But if I wanted to call my book Cobalt Blue or Cobalt 86, there are already two titles that have those names. I cannot use that.
That's true.
What about like if you have a was it a trademark? You said like your studio name or your company name or whatever. Like let's say Bionic Bro Comics, and then you say Bionic Bros Comics Cobalt.
Yeah, that'd be a title under my name.
So are you saying
it separates it from any other entity?
Now hold on, but I think in the regards you might be talking about is Nick of Time's Batman. Is that kind of the reference?
There's like Thor, and then there's Thor, and then there's like Marvel's Thor, right?
Right.
Yeah. Now Thor is a mythological figure.
To open a title, there are already movies called Thor. There are other characters outside of Marvel named Thor. Now, Marvel's tried to copyright the name Thor, and they've been shut down.
It's Norse mythology. You can't copyright Thor.
They tried to copyright Loki, and I read that too. You know, it's like
Disney's gonna try to do it. They have to, but
that'd be like Disney trying to copyright Cinderella or Peter Pan.
I think Peter Pan actually is.
There's a reason it says Disney's Peter Pan, Disney's Cinderella.
But there is a thing when it comes to Peter Pan. You can't just use Peter Pan. It has to be a parody or a play off the word.
Well, it has to be a different likeness. It has to be a different likeness than Disney's Peter Pan.
No, because the people who own the family who owns Peter Pan have somehow managed to keep the rights to it. So I can't go make a Peter Pan movie just arbitrarily, even though it's old enough. I think it should be in public domain. I don't think it is. There's some kind of shit. It's like they're doing some shit. I believe so. I've heard that several times now.
Well, it's because it's related to a source that's being used. So if you're going with like a similar or almost the exact same story and just producing your own version of it, you'll have issues there.
Yeah, I wouldn't. And I mean, you can look up if you want to like find a title. Hell, man, go Grok. If you're looking for a title for something, Grok is actually pretty helpful coming up with not necessarily coming up with the idea for you, but like you throw an idea at Grok. Like I had an idea for a title for a book, and I asked Grok because I had looked it up. I couldn't find anything titled this, right? So I went and asked Grok, hey, what do you? I'm like thinking about titling this comic book this, but I'm not sure if there are any copyrights, trademarks, if it's legal for me to use this term. And Grok went extensive and like and was like, no, there's nothing. There's only one title that I could find that was like even relating it, but it's different enough that legally you should be safe. However, you would still want to contact, let's say, trademark or there's like you can do a search in a registry to see if it's been trademarked or copyrighted. And that's just for the title. If you got a catchy title and you don't want to like infringe on somebody else's shit. If you've got an idea though that's like Winnie the not even Winnie the Pooh, because that is public domain, but like Spider-Man, you know. Well, Invincible has a Spider-Man, but it's not called. Yeah, but it's not Spider-Man. What was the other one?
Here we go.
Venture Brothers has a Spider-Man. The Boys has a Spider-Man, but they're we all know who they're referencing, but you know what I mean. They're able to do that parody.
So I just asked Rock, what is the difference between trademark and copyright and the laws therein? Trademark versus copyright. Key differences and laws. Trademark protects distinctive marks, logos, symbols, or phrases used to identify goods or services of a specific business, preventing consumer confusion. It ensures brand identity. Nike's swoosh logo or Coca-Cola's name. All right? Now, copyright protects original works of authorship, like books, music, art, software, films, granting creators exclusive rights to reproduce, distribute, and display their work. A J.K. Rowling novel, a song by Taylor Swift. Now, the scope of protection for trademark is covers brand identifiers, names, logos, slogans. Batman, DC, the logo. Marvel, the logo. Used in commerce. Protection applies as long as the mark is in use and doesn't expire if maintained. Copyright covers creative expressions fixed in a tangible medium. Protection is limited. Time limited. So 70 plus years. So like Popeye was copyright, the character.
Mm-hmm.
But his likeness, you can't really use. You have to make it differentiate. So like with Winnie the Pooh, people are using Winnie the Pooh. He's public domain. Now you can't use the specific look of Winnie the Pooh, because it's copyright. But if you want to use a likeness, like make him a little bit bigger, more strong, have the red shirt look torn up and stuff like that.
I don't know if that's necessarily correct, because Billy Tucci has Mickey Mouse or Steamboat Willie in his new She book.
But Steamboat Willie is not being in use. Mickey Mouse is.
It's Mickey Mouse, though. It's the same look.
It's under a different name and title.
Well, the original Winnie the Pooh is not in use either. It's the new cartoony look of him, if anything.
Right, but it's still in use because it's still the same likeness and source material.
Okay. All right. So Nick, you're making a book right now. Yeah. You're writing the book. You're trying to draw this book. What is it? What are the things you're concerned about? Are you trying to make something legally distinct from another IP?
I just don't want anyone to like take my idea. Well, I don't care if they take my idea. I just don't want them to take my idea and then sue me and claim I stole their idea.
Oh, I got you.
Well, you're gonna want to look into what was that guy's name that did Batman Gate?
I don't remember. Right? But it's not Batman Gate. It's Batman Well or some shit, right?
No, it's Batman Gate. So, nick of time, when we get done here, go look up Batman Gate and that whole story that took place with that. That's what you're worried about. I wouldn't worry about that in this arena.
I wouldn't worry about it right off the bat. If you are concerned, get a sale, get a receipt. You know, do something like an ash can. What's his name? Joe. What did he call himself now? Ronin Joe. Ronin Joe M. Sontag. He had done an ash can. He was selling as a pre-order. It wasn't even a pre-order. It was a really smart idea because he was trying to get the trademark sales so that he could have his character. And he had like a ash can for upcoming book type of deal, if I remember correctly. It was something along those lines. And I understood it. Now, I could be completely wrong about this, but this is how I understood this whole thing. He was trying to get the copyright or the trademark for the character. He needed some sales, so he sold the ash can and then used the money to be able to get the copyright or trademark on to pay for it, and then made the comic book later. So everybody got this one-of-a-kind ash can, so everybody got a good deal because it was cheap. It was like $5 or something, $10 maybe. I don't remember. But they got this awesome Reaper Destroyer ash can. He got to have that sale and was able to get the trademark. If it's not Ronin Joe that I'm thinking of, I feel like this is Ronin Joe in the Reaper Destroyer book.
So let me get this straight. An ash can is like I draw one of my characters and sell that drawing before the comic comes out.
So there's like ash cans they come in many forms. One form, most common form in my opinion, would be like a small little half comic like preview of a book. Usually cheap, black and white or something along those lines, even though there are many versions of ash cans. The first book I ever did was an ash can for a comic.
So for Elysian Fields Pyramid Gambit by Michael Oden, this is the comic book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hold on. Let me make it big. Hold up. Okay. Here we go. All right.
So with Michael Oden, before he rebooted the franchise just now, go get it on Indiegogo. This was the Pyramid's Gambit. It was one of the volumes to Elysian Fields before he rebooted it. This is the comic. Okay. Along with it came a little ash can. See how much smaller this is compared to the book. And this one was just like a little tchotchke he threw in that had extra story in it, so you could learn more about characters and stuff inside this one. It's a self-contained story, but it gives extra and helps build the world around it. Get me off big screen.
All right, so check it out. Here's what I was talking about. The ash can, the Reaper Destroyer ash can, was just I'll make myself big here. So it's like a little mini comic book. Ethan Van Sciver has a couple with his Cyber Frogs. When a normal comic book is roughly this size, the ash can is like that half size. So it was pretty cool. I like that he did this, by the way, and we made this. This is not the original ash can that he had available. It was this is one that came with his campaign. If you ordered the wraparound ash can thing, it's pretty cool. I dig it, and I like it. And he did a badass job with his ash can.
Yeah,
that book is mid. There's a lot of ways you can do it. We can always you can throw some ideas, ask us. We can tell you what we know.
Okay, so what should I do if my ultimate goal is like to tell these stories? Let's say I want to do it on YouTube, or at least promote it on YouTube. What should I do first? Like should I make? If I were to use YouTube as a tool to promote my stories, what would be the first thing I do?
Well, I would get the YouTube going, talking about. Is your entire channel going to be about your stories? Because you don't have to start off with that. You can do your channel and do your thing with your channel, and then start talking about, hey, I got this idea. It's going to be great. Give some hints, because you also don't want to tell everything about your story on your YouTube channel, because you want people to read it, right?
Okay, fair.
So you need to throw out ideas, concepts, or something that gets. Or maybe
I can make unrelated stories. Like I can just, let's say I either talk about comic topics, like I said, what if mutants were in the real world, and then sometimes I talk about just side stories, like stories I just made up yesterday, and then and I just tell on YouTube, hey, I got this idea for a story, and I just tell about it, and wouldn't that be cool? And then,
check this out. Do your YouTube channel, but where you talk about whatever, X-Men doing this and that, and then while you're writing your story and you're ready to start selling it, or you're ready to get people on a sign-up list or something, you want to start promoting your book, well, then you get your elevator pitch. I hate the elevator pitch concept, but it is solid. The idea is solid. Here's my pitch. I want you to get excited. It's not so much the idea of the elevator pitch, it's the term, the elevator pitch. When the whole concept,
when you start telling people about your story, because I was just on Peter Samedi's open mic night last night, and I was rambling because I was nervous. I didn't realize I was going to be the first one to go, and so I was just all over the place with telling them about the story that I'm creating with my comic book brother Kit right now. And what you need to get down right out the gate for your pitch is the who, what, when, where, and why. Who's the story about? What's it entail? Where's it take place? When, if you really care to know when, just give a fucking time frame. Who cares? And then why is this story important? Why are you making this story? Why do other people need to read this by you?
I would say, so yeah, something that's important is why do people need to read your book? It's a question that I'd ask any creator. But then I'd also say, along with what Jake is saying here, what is the thing that makes you excited about this book and why you really want people to read this? Because, man, you are excited. This is a cool idea. And it's not giving away too much of the story, but I really want to because it's such a good idea. And you're like, okay, here's what I can tell you. And this is going to be amazing. I swear, people, if you want to read this, check this idea out. This concept. These are the bare bones you want people to get excited for. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing you're gonna start promoting.
And when you have an idea of what you want to do to present that, if you can't really think of a way to encompass it, look on the back of a trade paperback or on the back of a DVD cover. Look at that small summary of the movie. Is it accurate to it? Like my favorite 1990 film of all time, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Look at the back of that cover. Does it tell me exactly what I need to know to get involved in this piece of, film? Yeah. Now, since I already know the movie, is it accurate? Yeah. So just check those out and see how you can work that around your pitch.
That's a good idea. Yeah, it's the back of a movie cover.
Well, they have the summaries. They have what? Not elevator pitches, but like the plot or what is it called? Like the summary. It's on IMDb. Whenever you click on the movie, it tells you the quick, like, what this movie is about. I forgot what it's called.
The summary, the synopsis, like the problem is there's a lot of people that a lot of these DVDs though, these movies, they're gonna have quotes to sell you the movie. There's not a whole lot of like I can think of right off the top of my head like a bunch of movie DVDs. They don't have anything in there. Just quotes.
This is Daredevil, Guardian Devil by Kevin Smith. All right.
Yeah.
Great up until the last third of the act. The last of the act makes this whole book suck. But anyway, here is the synopsis. A scared teenager on the run, an infant child, some say is humanity's savior, a former lover whose life is now hobbled by a terrible secret, a law partner accused of a horrible crime, a city being overcome by an inscrutable menace. That's it. They need a guardian, someone to protect them, someone with faith in them. They need Daredevil. That's it.
Yeah, but that book needs a disclaimer. Written by Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
Because and no, that's not fair. That book needs a disclaimer. Written by Kevin Smith this year. Because he wasn't always a horrible writer. You know what I mean? He used to be pretty good.
The only thing good he has under his belt is Clerks.
That's not true. Mallrats is good. Even Chasing Amy has its perks.
Are those under the Clerk umbrella?
Yes. And so is Dogma.
Okay. Everything outside of that, not good.
Are you saying
Walrus
Clerks would be
was
the
hilariously
trademark?
bad.
Clerks and Mallrats go together. That's
Yeah,
the
well,
same
they
universe.
all go together. Even
And
Dogma connects to all of them.
Tell me how Jersey Girl works into all that.
Jersey Girl does not connect to them, but Clerks, Mallrats, Dogma, or Chasing Amy,
Yeah.
Dogma, Jay Silent Bob, all those movies tie together. It's all in the same world.
Figure out. Actually, go over to Peter Sammetti's channel, Comic Book Radio, and look at last night's open mic. See how bad I did, and then check out the guy that went right after me, because right after me, that's when Peter Sammetti. That's when he had time to figure out what Peter Sammetti was like working with me to get clear. The who, what, when, where, why.
Wait a minute.
That
What?
pitch.
Who would be a good example of like a good pitch? Like instead of going to learn all that, like who? Okay, actually, here's a better question, Nick. How many books have you backed?
Well, a lot. Well, not a lot. Well, I got. Well, I have.
What was the first book you backed?
Well, Truth, Justice, the American Way.
Okay, why did you back? What got? Like you never backed a book before. What got you to back Truth? That's Gabriel Taib's book. What got you to back Truth, Justice, and American Way?
The art looked good. I was looking forward to him expanding on that universe, but disappointingly, he didn't. He was just done with it. But like,
well, aside from that, what you were like, damn, I got to get this book. Like I've never backed anything. There's a big trouble to go through to get your credit card information, to get all that shit played out. Well, and this book was worth it for you. What made that book worth it for you?
yeah, I wasn't sold on the story, but I was sold on the art. But
That's old David Williams art.
yeah, but I will say there was one story I was sold on based on the story, and that was Shantan Jetty's. What was it? Nosferatu. It was pretty much like Nosferatu. Nosferatu was like he's like the vampires, like
it's like paintings.
Boogeyman. Yeah. Not only if besides the painting art, which intrigued me, but the story was like, he's like the boogeyman to vampires and all demons and all the monsters in the underworld. And I'm like, that was the selling pitch that I got to me. I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. You know, like I wanted like a superhero, not like Blade, but like it's like it's like if he was the vampire's worst nightmare. That's what sold me. You know, like
yeah. Did you? Okay, there are a couple pitches out there. I wouldn't even say pitches, but they're trailers. Roach Balls. Roach Balls is one of the that's not the first book that I backed, but I think Cash Grab was the first book that I ever backed, and I backed it with Cecil explicitly telling me I was never going to get that book, but I had hopes that someday I might get that book, and it's because it wasn't even Cash Grab I wanted to read. I wanted to read Dirtworm Doug. Dirtworm Doug looks really funny. Cash Grab looked like it'd be pretty funny. Dirtworm Doug looked hilarious. So I was like, I had to. So I was like, Roach
Balls was pretty interesting.
Yeah. Roach Balls. That trailer was pretty fucking awesome. Okay. Now we were originally talking about the YouTube and everything. Stanley had to go. If you want to, Nick, if you want to keep like hanging around and stuff, like keep coming. Are you on X?
I don't. I'm not active on it. I just wait for notifications in case something pops up.
Well, do you follow Jake Bionic Bro, or is it Tail End Studios on there?
It's Bionic Bro.
Let me see.
Or me. I'm on there. Peter Orchard Studios. I'm Peter Orchard Studios.
Oh, on X, yeah, it's Tail End Studio. On YouTube, it's Bionic Bro.
Tail End.
Yeah, TALE as in fairy tale.
Look at that Fox.
And end like END.
No, tail tail as in like a folk tale, end as in it has an ending. And then
Tailend.
Taleend.
So it's Taleend. 2 E's?
Yeah.
Tailend? Really?
Tail end.
I never noticed it was Taleend.
Oh shit.
Taleend.
No results. Does it have spaces?
No.
Hold up.
Tail end stu.
On X, let me look
It's
this
not
up.
that difficult, guys.
Yeah, it is. Tail.
Oh, that's how you spell tail. And
Tale, and then capital END, and then S.
I got it. I found you.
Yeah.
Oh, apparently I didn't follow you. Oh, I thought it was.
That's okay.
And Peter.
And then Peter Orchard Studios. I think it's just underscore Peter.
Yeah,
Orchard.
you should be able to go on my feed and find him because I just posted his stream today.
Mine is just underscore Peter Orchard. That's it. X.
Yeah, I found you. All right.
And I use that same logo for everything. It's my tattoo. But I can't even show it on here. There we go. Nice.
I mean, if you send me a link on the direct messages or something, I would be happy to pop back in and talk with y'all. But that's up to y'all.
If you ever have a question, just hit us up. I think my DMs are open.
Same.
Nobody ever wants to message me, so I don't get harassments or nothing. You can say "fuck you."
It's okay. People don't know what they're missing out on yet, Peter.
Yeah. Well, now, mind you, I might start messaging you if I'm fucking wasted, drunk. Some nights I'll do 3 in the morning. I'm pondering the mysteries of the universe, and I might convince you to fucking do a fucking video chat where we're gonna talk till fucking sunrise, right? About the craziest shit. If I'm super wasted, there are several people that are victim to that, but it's all good.
I may be young, but how do you direct message someone you haven't direct messaged before?
There's a little letter.
There should be a little envelope up there.
That little envelope. And anybody else who's watching, go follow me over on Twitter, and you can message me too at 3 in the morning. If I'm awake, then we're gonna have the best conversation ever. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And tomorrow night we're gonna be over there on Bionic Bro's channel. What are we talking about tomorrow?
Tomorrow we're going to be talking about. Who fucking knows, man?
Yeah, we'll be talking about something that's going to be super interesting. Trust me. It's always interesting. Tomorrow, by the way, unlike today, tomorrow is my Friday. I know it's Thursday, but I'm off Friday, so I am going to be drinking. So whatever it's going to be hilarious. I don't know. What do you think, Jake? You think it's going to be fun?
I think it's going to be fucking awesome.
Now get out! And I'll tell you when I want you back!